All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. Hopefully, everyone had an amazing weekend. Hopefully, you guys are having an amazing morning. Good morning, Eamon. Good morning, John. How are you guys today?
Hey, Carlos. We're good. I think we just started off with a laugh, so nothing better than that.
Absolutely. Friends, hopefully everybody's doing well. John filling in for Peter this morning as we kick off this week, which should be very exciting, coming from a very interesting last week of trading, and looking forward to see what this week brings. Quick look at our gap resistance brought to you by tradingterminal.com, and a lot flying left and right. Got a couple of high tickers here with some big percentages, a couple of low flow stocks leading the way here, and then almost everything else unusual suspects to the downside of things. But before we jump into all of that, friends, let's go straight to our recap from last week and the weekend with Eamon.
Hi guys, good morning. Friday was probably the day the market needed. We've been flat for the whole weekend, for the whole week. The SPY started the day selling off, but starting at 10 a.m., it made a good reversal all the way to the high of the day, and it kept going higher into the close. And to be honest, it's Friday's candlestick that got the market to close higher for the whole week. The S&P gained 0.7%, Dow added 277 points, and Nasdaq is up around 1%. Last week also gave us a good reminder that this market can love and hate two technology giants at the same time. Amazon was the star. The stock jumped more than 15% after Amazon Web Services grew 37%, and management made a good case that the AI spending is already making a revenue, and the revenue is growing as fast, if not faster, than their spendings. Apple went the other way. The stock fell more than 7% after management mentioned that chip and memory shortages could limit how many products they can make and how many products they can sell. So it kind of was interesting. You hear Amazon saying we're spending more because customers are waiting and we can't fill in the demand. And then you hear Apple saying we have customers, but unfortunately we don't have enough parts to make phones and sell them. Very different problems and obviously different market reactions. The bond market didn't do well. Longer term treasury yields went higher, and investors are still worried about inflation, worried about expensive oil, worried about new tariffs, and the Federal Reserve that offered very little guidance. Then the weekend brought the attention back to Iran. It feels like every single weekend we hear something about this, either escalation, either de-escalation. President Trump said that he canceled plans for another attack after Iran and several Middle Eastern governments asked for more time to reach an agreement. I mean, nothing new. It became some sort of a habit, right? By the end of the week, you get announcements of some escalation happening, and then during the weekend, you hear that everything is slowly cooling off. He said that there is an outline for a possible deal, and or they made some sort of an outline for a possible deal, and they said that this could reopen the Strait of Hormuz and maybe address Iran's nuclear program. And on Sunday, the Iran's foreign minister also said that the talks with Oman over shipping and over the roads through the strait are in the final stages. And to be honest, that's progress, especially if it comes through. But remember, it's still not a signed deal, and we've seen how fast things could change. Iran also said that the strait would not simply return to the way it was. So we heard the president and some announcements mentioning that the strait is going to be fully open with no tolls. It's going to get back to the way it used to, and here you are hearing Iran saying that no, it's never gonna happen. Everything is going to change from here. So today the market has to decide whether this is real progress or maybe just one of these episodes of our favorite series, Peace Deal Coming Soon. Anyway, let's go to see what we have today. It's first day of trading in August, and it's kind of a busy Monday. Obviously, the first thing to watch is oil, we did mention that President Trump paused the plans for another attack on Iran, and Iran is saying that there are negotiations with Oman, and there is some progress there. But like we said, be careful with the headlines. There is no final agreement, so crude is definitely something to watch today. Headlines is something to watch because uh, any single headline is going to move the market. And if you see that oil is dropping, it means that traders and investors believe that that there is some sort of progress. And if you see that nothing changes or oil is slowly rising, that means that the market does not trust the diplomacy yet. I don't see any news on the economic calendar at around 8:30. At 9:45, we get the final S&P Global Manufacturing PMI, and at 10 o'clock, we'll get the construction spending and ISM manufacturing. I think ISM is the most important one. We've spent months talking about hundreds of billions of dollars going into data centers, going into chips, into power equipment, into factories, and today's report will show whether that investment is helping the broader manufacturing company or whether the boom still belongs to just a few small number of AI related companies. Also, watch the prices paid. You know that the new US tariffs of 10% to 12.5%, they took an effect on July 24th. And they cover trading partners responsible for almost all the US imports. Although many products are exempt, but still, I mean, if you see that manufacturers report higher input prices, it means that the bond market might have some issues again. And after the close, that's probably the main event for today. PLTR is going to report, and this stock has been in play for a long time now. Analysts expect a revenue of $1.81 billion. That's 80% higher than last year, and adjusted earnings near 35 cents per share. And those numbers sound huge, but the problem is that huge numbers are already expected. If you did some research and some digging into PLTR, you will easily find that Palantir trades around 60 times sales. This means the market is not pricing in a good quarter. It's pricing something close to perfection. Honestly, maybe perfection. The most useful thing to watch is not only the total revenue, watch the US commercial growth, the government contracts, and whether customers are moving from small AI experiments into large, longer term deployments. This is also a beginning of a heavy week that we're going to be having. We'll have AMD reporting this week, Caterpillar, McDonald's, Pfizer, Disney, SpaceX. I think SpaceX is probably one of the companies that's we want to hear the most about because we did not have any earnings, any news, any numbers about it, and this is going to be the first thing that's going to give us a good picture about this company and whether investors are going to be holding on to their shares or maybe selling some of their investments. So yeah, this week is going to be exciting. Volatility is going nowhere. So today, just keep an eye on oil. It will tell us whether investors believe in Iran talks. ISM will tell us whether the AI spending is reaching the broader economy. And I'll probably be watching PLTR because maybe AMD and some of the stocks that will have earnings on this week because earnings is a good catalyst, not only after they come out, even before they happen. So yeah, that's it for today. John, up to you if there is anything that I skipped around here.
No, I think that about covers it. We have a gappers list to look at. Gap stocks gapping up and down. I think we're going to see some strange ones, some low floats, and the usual mysterious catalyst. But there should be a lot of good stuff to trade just from the normal mid and large cap stocks today.
All right, there we go. Thank you, guys. Our gappers list. Let's dive in, friends. See what we can pull off here from this morning as we kick off this week. We'll start with UPC. It's the first one on deck. I feel like we've seen this before, and we have. I think maybe a couple of weeks ago, a month ago actually. We saw this show up in our gappers list up huge. So today, not as much, but still here trying to put some volume in here. 11 million shares traded. It is up 121%. And it's a low float, right under a million. So careful on this one. Somehow we do have shares to short with Interactive Brokers. Our highly doubt these are there. Only 15,000 showing on my platform. So again, I don't think they're actually available for you there anyways. But just be careful. Low flow ticker. John, I'm not sure of the news, but again, this is going to be one that's very difficult to trade today.
Yeah. Hey, Carlos, just one reminder. You might want to check
Sure.
my levels because usually when I fill in for Peter, people tell me it's coming in low. So
yes, I got it. I got the Peter effect on your mic. just took it off. You should be good now. Yeah, thanks for the reminder,
cool,
man.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
Hey, yeah, we're getting better at this slowly, right? UPC. No, there's no new catalyst here. This is a low flow, and it's a real low flow. People should know that. There's low and then there's low. So people sometimes ask, like, what do you guys consider a low float stock? And I think everyone has their own opinion, but when I see a stock getting down below 20 million, maybe 15, I start to think of it as low. Other people might be lower than that, like 10 or 5. But you get under a million, and that's not a lot of shares, So they can be heavily manipulated, and that somebody can own quite a bit of it all by themselves, right? So when just one entity starts to buy it or sell it, it can make it go nuts. And that's what this thing is. But there's no new catalyst. I think it was moving last week. This is a Chinese pharma company. I think they had a story last week about a IP acquisition or a new patent or something, but it's just reverberations from last week, I believe.
All right, there you go, friends. Continuing here, the next one we saw a lot of last week, CUV. I think it was Friday, right? Friday gapped up here, tons of volume. I think it was up almost like 300%, so some crazy number. But here it is. Today's trying to continue that. Right now we're up 33%, 4.7 million shares traded, hard to borrow. So again, just be careful. Another low flow under second day place, a 1.2 million shares float. And again, just continuation on this one. Not much to see, John, unless you have anything to add, but just be careful. Another low float in place today.
Same kind of story. Low float continuation from last week. They had a story about deterministic AI document engine or something. Not that John knows what that is. But yeah, it's a very similar story to UPC. So yeah, if you're looking for a low float stock that might make some interesting moves, I mean, these are a couple I tend to stay away, but they are available.
Yeah, and I read the news on this one because it was interesting because they had AI in it. Of course, anything with AI, you're going to get attention. And it sounds to me that all they're doing is, and again, I might be oversimplifying this, is taking a document, some kind of document, and making AI read the document and then pull out information to build a form. Again, simple terms, I might be completely off, but it's like that should, or this is not new. I mean, this has been out there, so I don't know why they're gapping up so much like this. But again, they got a lot of keywords there when they're saying AI, they're saying this and that, and you're seeing that pop there. So we'll see how that turns out for them. Careful on this one, friends. The next one, same thing. This is the FNS, and we saw so much of this last week. I mean, it's me and Peter just kept making not fun of it, but just kind of it was on our list every single morning. At one point, it shot up to about 108. You can't see that because it was either pre-market or after hours. But it shot up to 108, and they were a reverse split company, and just look at it now. They did that to be able to stay in the Nasdaq, to stay listed. Careful, guys. Today we're moving up 33% after a massive drop on Friday, actually after hours or whatever the case was, or Thursday. But today, 569 shares traded. Be careful as this thing is trying to stay alive, but there's really nothing to see here, and there's no actual news. It's just. They just did a split, so careful on this one. All right, let's continue to some stuff that might be a little bit better. ATKR is next, and these guys are up 33%. Hold on, let me get the right list. ATKR. Here we go. Oh, this looks like a buyout. Usually not tradable. So, John, I should have had a chance to look at this one, but if I look at this pre-market action, looks like a buyout, and normally those don't trade very well.
Yeah, and it's probably the cleanest catalyst on the list, I would say, on the gap
so far,
ups.
yeah.
but that catalyst doesn't get you much because it is a buyout.
Yeah.
So the price will jump, and then it's going to tend to stick to a certain point and not be as volatile as the gap up percentage suggests, right? But company named Prismium is acquiring Atcore for $95 per share in cash. They also did report Q3 results. I don't have those here, but it's the acquisition that's bumping this thing. Yeah, so it's sitting there right at the deal price. So yeah, probably not that there could be little moves in here, but it's there's better stuff, better catalysts out there, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, even on the gap up, I'm seeing better names towards the bottom here. We'll start getting to Baba now. PLTR, we got Meta, Oracle. These guys are going to be great, and they got a lot to talk about when it comes to those names down there. All right, let's look at we'll do one more from the top here, and then we'll start hopping around towards the better stuff in the bottom. FFAI is gapping up today 5.7. This one 344 million shares float. So I'm not sure what the news is today, but man, these guys been getting slammed here. Not a low flow ticker, pretty nice, decent sized flow here. Faraday Future, what is this? Intelligent Electric. Wow, okay. What's the news on this one?
I think this is a robot company, if I'm not mistaken. There's not a clean catalyst this morning per se. I think it's just there was some news last week that was kind of hopeful for some growth. That was around like a robotics narrative. And I'm just looking to see if there's anything new here this morning. There's really not. Last week, the company was saying that the FCC's new policy on robotics would strengthen their position to accelerate robotics, the robotic ecosystem development. So yeah, it's good news for them. I don't know what the FCC's policy was on robots though. So, it's kind of got to peel back the onion on that catalyst a little bit.
Yeah, agreed. They definitely have not been doing all that well. Probably a couple of splits here, so their daily chart goes nuts all the way to like 24,000 on the price tag. Back in looks like 2024.
Oh, here you go, Carlos. I think the FCC blocked new authorizations for foreign-produced advanced robotic devices and power inverters over national security concerns. So that I'm gonna guess FFAI is an American company.
Yeah.
So probably benefiting from that. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, because that's bad news for anybody outside. But their dailies again, it doesn't look. Man, they're struggling. They are struggling. But again, we'll see how that turns out. That's the future. Robots is the future. So a meme or AI video of a robot painting walls, right? And being very careful with the corners. So I'm like, this is a very, very realistic use case for my household. Like, I will definitely never paint ever again. So I'm getting a robot as soon as it comes out.
I have a door that I've been meaning to paint for like 6 years, Carlos. So I'm willing to wait another 6 years for a robot to come paint this door in my house.
Oh, absolutely. All right, guys. Let's stop here on the gap up. There's a bunch of better names towards the bottom. All the top stuff didn't look great. Some of it has stories, others are buyouts. Some continuation from last week. DFNS, FCUV, even UPC was a couple of months ago. A couple of weeks ago, they were active back on the list here. So nothing great off that top list. But now we start getting into Baba and some other more well-known tickers. So Baba here this morning up 4%, 784,000 shares traded. And again, they've been moving higher. They've been gapping up. But what's happening with Baba a lot, and it's one of my favorite Chinese stocks to trade, is that all the action is happening pre-market or after hours, right? Intraday has been very, very quiet. So if you look at this big move, there's two big gap ups in the daily here over the last couple of days. A lot of the action has been happening in here. So doesn't help us as day traders, but I'm interested in this gap up today because look at the daily. We're breaking out of some areas of prior resistance. So this could be nice. John, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, this is legit. Alibaba launched its biggest AI model yet, which they claim will rival Anthropic's best models. Which that's a big claim because Anthropic makes they make the stuff that gets out of the sandbox and goes and hacks everybody. So they make good stuff. But yeah, it's going to be an open source model, which will be the first time they've released something at this scale for an open source model. So yeah, that's real news. I mean that can make Baba very tradable today for sure.
Yeah, I like that. That catalyst. I think it's worth having on the list. So we'll add it on my list here. All right, let's continue. See what else we got going on this gap up list. Next is going to be BMY. BMY. We got going on here. Up 4.4, 623,000 shares traded. Big pop up this morning. Bristol Myers, we've seen this many times. I personally don't like the price action or how much volume they trade. So I usually end up not having it on my list. But today they seem to be in play, up quite a bit here. Got a little bit of volume. New York Stock Exchange. So normally you're not going to get heavy volume pre-market, but it can come in after the market opens. So, John, not typically something we watch, but today could be their day.
Yeah, I'm just seeing look like just before 6 o'clock this morning, Bristol Myers Squibb should have started moving. Did it move around 6 o'clock this morning by any chance, Carlos? Because there was a report of a $400 billion merger talk with AstraZeneca. That's a big deal right there.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
sure
the move didn't happen at 6 a.m., which is okay because everyone here is just insider trading, right? We know how that works. So somebody knew before everybody knew, and that is always interesting. But yeah.
Well, it's also the time it hit
open.
Barron's. Like it's one particular source. That doesn't mean when the story was released.
True.
It's just when Barron's got their article out. So yeah, so that's the news. It came out this morning, and that's big news too. Yeah, I can't say I've ever traded Bristol Myers Squibb. But yeah, no, that could be good. I would throw that on there, I guess, if it was me.
Yeah. So yeah, could be great news. I personally don't like it. Don't like the stock, but we'll see. If we don't have anything else, I'll add it on there. All right, let's look at one more now, two more now. Sorry, three more. I like these, all of these now, Oracle and PLTR. Right, we kind of been looking at these big names. So let's look at now servicing. I know a lot of you guys have been adding this to your list. I think I'm starting to get a little bit of FOMO from everybody having it on their list except me. So normally they don't trade all that hot, but everybody's been putting it on their list. Everybody's been trading it well. Today they're up 3.2, 431,000 shares traded. Service now. I don't know if they have anything, John, new, or overall just market movement, but I'm inclined to put it on the list today. I think they look good on the daily.
Now. No, I'm just running down the list of things that could possibly be a catalyst. I think it's just moving. This is just in play. People are excited to trade this stock. There's a couple new ones coming alive, Carlos. On my watch list, I tend to like stocks that are over $100 in price because I find the level 2 starts to simplify at that point, and you see the big orders really set up at dollar levels and $half levels, and it kind of cleans up the book for me in terms of like where the liquidity sits. So I'm always looking for new stocks that are in the price range of $100 or more. So like now could be a good candidate. And another one lately is, what is it? SKHY is another good one that I've actually put on my top 12 list. So my point being, it's kind of exciting to see new stocks come available for what you like to trade, and because they come and go. Sometimes when I think back over the years to stocks that were so great to trade, like Roku, which people might laugh at today, like who the heck trades Roku? But 5 years ago we used to love to trade Roku, but then it kind of fell off, and then so I lose a stock that was previously like a really great trader for me. So it's nice to see stocks like Now and SKHY become available. So I'm gonna put that on my own like personal secondary list today for sure. NOW.
Yeah, I agree, man. SKHY has been definitely one of my favorite IPOs, for sure.
Carlos, your audio is choppy.
All right, we'll refresh it. Should come back. But yeah, SKHY has been one of my favorite IPOs. Like, it's been so good to us, so I'm always having it on my list. So I'm going to put it on here as well. I love the way this one trades, so I'm always watching it. Every day I've been watching it, so pretty good stuff. All right, let's actually stop here. I want to get to Eamon. We'll continue. We'll look at PLTR. Yeah, we'll look at Oracle too, but I want to get to Eamon on our social post, and we want to hand it off to Jared with Engineering the Markets. We don't have any economic data coming out at 8:30, so after social post, Engineering the Market starts right in our chat room with Jared. So if you want to join, if you're on YouTube and X and you want to join that, you can do so. Head over to bearwithtraders.com, which, by the way, I don't get to watch Jared Engineering the Markets, but I go back and look at the videos that are posted on YouTube. The information is awesome. The breakdown. I got caught up on all last week. I saw like the one from Friday, and that's just like, let me look at the other ones. And I saw all the rest of them on 2 times speed, so I can be able to get to all of them. Man, great information. So if you guys are not able to be around at that time, you can always catch the recording, which is really good data for even the next couple of days of trading, because it gives you a broad view of the market and everything going on. And it's funny, he talked about one, since I saw them all together, he talked about DFNS. And I think he was talking about it when it was right around this area here. It was like $20. Right, he's like, yeah, the expected move is probably about 60. He went back and looked at the monthly. Right, I think he went to what he did. He did like a monthly thing, and then he got some levels off of 60 somewhere in this area. This is probably where it's gonna go to 2 days later. The FNS is at 60 plus. Right, so I'm like, the man knows what he's doing, guys. Definitely check him out. Engineering the Market starts in a few minutes right after this social post.
All right, guys. So this is an interesting one for today. PLTR. They will be reporting today after the close. The company is expected to grow revenue by around 80%. The earnings are expected to more than double. And honestly, for almost any normal company, that would sound incredible. But PLTR is not priced like a normal company. The stock trades at around 61 times sales, not earnings, sales. Investors are paying roughly $61 for every dollar Palantir currently brings in. So tonight's debate is not is Palantir growing or not, because everybody knows that this company is growing. The real question is, can it grow fast enough to justify the price that investors are paying for right now, or maybe the price that's already paid for? Let's start with the bull case. PLTR sits in two of the strongest markets in the world, artificial intelligence and government defense. Companies are moving from testing AI tools to putting them inside real operations. Governments are spending more on defense, intelligence, and data systems, and PLTR is already inside many of those organizations. And unlike companies building expensive data centers, Palantir sells software on top of that infrastructure. Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, they are spending hundreds of billions building the roads, and Palantir is the company that's collecting that bill. And this sounds like a wonderful business, right? And it seems like everything is going well. But then you hear the bear case. At 61 times sales, strong growth is not a surprise. Strong growth is the minimum requirement in this case. We saw Google grow revenue by more than 80%, I mean, specifically the cloud. And the stock still fell because investors did not like spending and the cash flow picture. Apple also beat expectations and it dropped down because the outlook was not strong enough. The lesson here is that good report and good earnings do not always help a stock when the expectations are already extremely high. And Palantir could beat estimates today, and it probably will, and it could still fall after the earnings because the market may say, yes, that is very impressive. Yes, the numbers are impressive, but we already paid for all of these numbers. The high treasury yields are making this even more difficult for Palantir, and not only Palantir, for most of the growth companies. PLTR's value depends heavily on the profits expected many years from now. And when the bond yields increase, those profits that are sitting far away or few years away from now, they become less valuable. So tonight, there are a few things that we'll probably need to keep an eye on. The first one is the revenue. Did it beat expectations, and by how much? It needs to beat them by a lot, by way more than it has at the moment. The second are the commercial customers signing large contracts. Are they signing it, or are they still running small tests? And finally, does management raise guidance enough to make investors believe that this growth can continue, not only for the next quarter, but for the next few ones, or maybe telling you that yes, the demand is there for 27, 28, similar to how Amazon did, which helped Amazon continue going higher even though the spending was were still high. And remember, this final question regarding the guidance is probably the most important one, because Palantir does not need only one great quarter. It needs to convince investors that great quarters are now normal and will be having great quarters moving forward. This is basically the tough part, but if it happens, we can see another rally on PLTR similar to how we saw on Amazon. Now back to engineering the market with Jared and Carlos and John for the rest of the gappers list.
All right, friends, we'll let you guys do your thing. We'll catch you guys a little bit later. All right, let's continuing here, friends, with X and YouTube. Let me just go ahead and switch this over. Let's finish off our gappers list here. So on the gap up side of things, we looked at the rest, all the top ones, but PLTR and Oracle were the ones that we did not get to. So let's look at that because PLTR, I know it's one that a lot of people like. So if I head on over there, PLTR, I like it myself too. Don't get me wrong. It's a good one. Today they are a little bit higher, 2.7, 1.1 million shares traded. Pre-market looks good. Daily, not so much. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on this one, but I do like the pre-market action. I do like the volume. I like the gap up. Daily seems to have found some support here. So it could be a nice one if we can get it going in a direction at the market open. John, your thoughts on it? And is this one of the ones in your list? You mentioned earlier that things rotate, right? Things are rotating off and on the list. I'm not sure where PLTR stands on your set list there. Oh, John, you're mute.
Hey, sorry. Yeah, no, PLTR does reside on my top 12 list. Sometimes people ask me why 12. It's because I have a monitor that fits 12 charts nicely. So that's why it's 12.
That is perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
You know, why have 2 spots empty if you have only 10, you know?
Could be 16 if I wasn't so cheap, but it's 12. But it seems to, after years of doing it, it seems like a nice number. I can digest 12 every morning and watch them. But anyway, yeah, no, PLTR has been there for a while, for years now. But they do rotate. Yeah. So I took Meta off, Carlos, which used to be FB for Facebook. Yeah. Okay. And it's just I put SKHY there. That may flip back if this thing doesn't continue to trade well going forward. You know, it might bring Meta back. It's like having a batting lineup in baseball. It's fun, you know, like you could put a guy on the bench, you send him down to the minors, you bring him back up for the big game or whatever. But yeah,
I love that. Bring him back different market conditions, you know, are they going against a left or right pitcher? Yeah. I like the coaching you're doing. That's good. Like that.
And I definitely bring in a ticker for a game. You know what I mean? Like for a day, I'll bring in like this is hot, and I don't expect much out of like say Google today. So I'll bring in a right-handed pitcher for this game. We'll bring him up for the minors. We'll sign him for a day, and we'll play him. So yeah, it's very much a baseball-oriented strategy to trading.
Love it.
But yeah, PLTR should be in play today. Eamon said it all. Earnings right is today after the close. Is that, or was it just this week?
I think it's
today after the close. Today. It's today.
Yeah, so it's a Monday. Okay. After the close on Monday. Interesting. Yeah. And I like what Eamon said about stocks that have run up in price and then they can produce great numbers. But Eamon said it in a way I've never heard. We've already paid for this price. You know what I mean? Like we've already this is built in. Yeah. And so some people often are surprised when they're new to this game and they watch a company report. They beat on earnings per share, they beat on revenue, and their guidance looks fine, you know, and the stock goes down. But hey, you know, we paid for that over the preceding weeks. If you look at the daily chart, you can see it running up. And I've dealt with that many times over the years being an Amazon shareholder and just hoping, you know, you get the move it's deserved or that you think it's deserved. But sometimes you just need the blowout numbers like Amazon had last week. Like Amazon had undeniable numbers last week, just so
built in or not, they're going.
Right. You know, it was going somewhere. It was going somewhere. Yeah, we're getting something out of that. So we'll see if PLTR can pull off something similar today.
Yeah. If not in play today, definitely in play tomorrow. Usually after earnings, we'll get some more volatility. But this is a stock that's normally in play sometimes even with no news, right? No catalyst. So always fun to watch. Totally. I think today I am going to add them on my list. I like PLTR. It's been a while since I traded them. Because they have not provided that opportunity, but I do like the way they trade when they are in play. I think today I agree with you, John. Could be one of those days where we bring this one up to the batting lineup here. All right, that covers our gap up, friends. There's some other ones. Speaking of Amazon, the big guy is in here today. Microsoft's creeping in. Apple towards the bottom. So we got a couple of bigger names making their way into above that 2% into our gap up list, right? So so many of these we can We can spend a whole hour just going over these main tickers here. But we'll stop here. Let's look at our gap down to cover what's happening here in case there's anything that's taken a hit. I already see that some of the memory chip related tickers are not doing so hot this morning. Service doing great, right? These are all service type companies, and chips are not doing so hot. The stuff that supports the service is not doing so great. First one on the deck here this morning is GNPX, 11.2, 1.8 million shares traded. Looks pretty bad as far as the daily and the pre-market action goes. What's the float on this? 10 million. So really low float, 1.8 million right now. That's the most they had. This pre-market volume is the most they had in months, years. Just tells you how dangerous. Yeah, this stock does not trade anything. This 1.8 is the most they had in all of 2026, parts of 2025. So again, it just kind of tells you what kind of ticker this is. We're probably not going to spend no time on it, John. I'm not sure what is causing the movement this morning, but not one you want to play around with.
Yeah, they had some news. Well, gosh, what was it here? They announced a collaboration with Roche Diagnostics this morning, I believe, for a biomarker assay validation study tied to Recorsa gene therapy, which is a type of precision oncology for cancer. So it should be positive news, but I think did it get a bit of an up, shot up and then shooting back down kind of thing? Or it looks like it moved a lot Friday afternoon, if I'm reading my chart correctly. Is that what you're seeing, Carlos?
On Friday, I don't see the move up on Friday. I see no action on Friday. Everything seems to have happened.
Oh, no, my bad. No, my bad. It's this morning. It's one of those weird charts that doesn't show. Never mind. It's a DOS thing. It doesn't show the after hours from Friday. So I'm actually looking at the pre-market. Yeah. No.
Yep,
so
yep.
It wiggled on this morning's news about that drug news, and now it's just kind of giving some back. They're trying to figure out what the news is worth. Could still be something there to play later. I don't know what the float is on this. I don't know if you picked that up, Carlos, or is it there on the gappers list?
Yeah, it's showing 10. So it's a very low float ticker.
Yeah.
So I want to be careful with that one. But yeah, guys, I think there's better things to look at. Like maybe this one, CRCL, Circle of Internet, down 6.4, 1.2 million shares traded. Their daily looks very interesting. And the flow here, by the way, is 202. So you're dealing with a decent sized float. I mean, they're just slamming into this area of support. They've been trying to hold here. I just don't know if today's the day where they fall from that area. But, they had some incredible moves this year all the way up to 130. We took lots of action and parts of this right back down to this 58 area. So I don't know. I like the way the daily looks here. We haven't been here since early February, it looks like, or maybe late February. But I like the way this looks. I like the volume on it. Maybe not one of the primary lists, but I think it's worth putting on our list for sure. It could be one of the ones in play today. John, anything to add?
I think Morgan Stanley might have dropped they might have downgraded this, and I think that might be part of the news. And there's also some uncertainty going forward, this thing called the Clarity Act and how it relates to stablecoin. I know that we've seen this be a catalyst for months. So I guess this is an unresolved issue. So a couple things might be affecting CRCL this morning. Hey, Carlos, did you hear about the hack that happened in the past few days for cold wallets for Bitcoin?
I did not. Not hear about that. Yeah, was this over the weekend? What's the deal?
It's definitely happening. It might have started like on Friday, but it definitely happened over the weekend. But yeah, it's some people who had their Bitcoin in what are called cold wallets. I mean, we're talking about hardware that's not connected to the internet at all. And in some cases, I heard stories.
What is a cold wallet? Let's. Do you know that the high level definition? What is a cold wallet? What does that mean?
I wish Jared was here. It's a place to. It's a device. It's a piece of hardware to keep your crypto on. That I have one actually.
But it's offline basically. I mean, it's not connected, so you kind of have your Bitcoin in it.
Yeah, here's a ledger device right here. I don't know if you can see it on camera, if it's showing up. I can't see myself on the camera.
That's a cold wallet right there?
Yeah, that's made by Ledger. It's a pretty popular one. I don't know if I don't actually use it anymore. I did buy it at one time to put my Bitcoin on, and I got out of the Bitcoin business, so now it just sits on my desk. Um, but uh, but the idea is you keep your crypto on this device, and it's not on the internet. You put it in a safety deposit box, and it's got you use your seed phrase to access your crypto. But it should be very, very safe. And apparently, like there was some kind of hardware flaw that some hacker found in the seed generation. Basically, what they used AI to brute force finding seed phrases until they found them, and then they hacked people's
Hmm.
cold wallets that way. So like some people had their stuff stolen that on a device that was never connected to the internet ever, Carlos. Like
Yeah.
I have connected this to my computer. There you can see the USB cable right here. So when I did that, theoretically, I put it on, I connected it to the dirty world of the internet at some point, or at least a computer connected to the internet, and I could have exposed myself to something in doing that. But yeah, there were some
So
people
this is basically a key. Bitcoin's not really in there. It's a key to access your Bitcoin because there's no way
yeah.
Bitcoin can be in there. It's like a gift card, right? A gift card. There's no cash
Well,
in there, but this is the
your
key
Bitcoin's
to
always on the yeah, your
right. It's a
Bitcoin's always
key,
on the ledger.
right?
The
Right.
ledger's where all the Bitcoin is. That explains who's bought it and who sold it and where it's gone and whatnot. But it's your access to say that this is my Bitcoin on the ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you use the cold
They
wallet.
could have just
We
said,
probably
"Here's
sound
your
very stupid.
his." They could have just say instead of a cold wallet. No, here's the access key to my Bitcoin. Right. That everybody understands what that is. This is the access to my Bitcoin. Okay, we get it. We could say cold wallet. Well, what are we talking about? Like, but again, it's exciting and it makes me ask the question, right? So I think that's the purpose of it too. But yeah, that's dangerous, man. That's
Well,
dangerous. So how
it's
much
funny
did
you
they
mentioned that.
steal?
One of the reasons I got out of Bitcoin is my wife was like, "What is this stuff?" And I'm trying to explain to her the cold wallet and the seed phrase, and she's like, "What are we doing?" And I'm like, "No, it's safe. It's like safer than money, like if you do it right." Uh, this guy's saying it's horrible, horrifying. You're a crypto. I'm not a crypto guy. I don't even own any crypto
No,
anymore.
we're not crypto guys at all. And
Yeah,
that's what we're having. It's a part of this discussion. I mean, yeah, it's
that's why we sound so ignorant and stupid,
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, my wife could kind of tell, like, she's like, I think you've got like 50% of a grasp on this. You know what I mean? And like it was I owned a whole Bitcoin. So at a certain point it became like real money,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah,
like, yeah, I agree. So I sold it and I put it into something else. Just,
yeah.
got back to
I
my
think I
boomer
think even
investments.
Bitcoin guys don't understand what Bitcoin 100% is. I just don't think they grasp it fully. I don't know, man. It's very confusing. I still have tons of questions.
Well,
I read presentations, seen videos. I'm like, we just create this out of thin air. Like what?
I think they do. I think there's a lot of responsible people who
Yeah,
really understand this well and they do it correctly as they can.
yeah,
But
as best as
at
they
the end
can.
of the
Yeah,
day, if you're going to use AI to brute force the past, what can you do, man? You know what I mean? And
yeah.
that's not just for Bitcoin. Why can't somebody
For
brute force
everything.
any
Yeah,
password in your life if they want it? Right? That's the problem we have with AI and more, whatever quantum computing in the future and stuff. It's are there going to be any passwords? How are we going to do this stuff? So, we all have to stay ahead of the game somehow. But this weekend was an example of where, the technology available to the bad guys sort of gets ahead too fast. It's kind of sad.
Well, they need to figure out a way more than just 12 to 24 key phrase words, maybe more verification methods than just figuring out
Yeah.
than a weak password. Probably that would be the next step now that everybody got hit by this because
yeah. So is it
it's not
insured?
what
Like for
as
example,
long as the
if
system is
I
the same, it's going to
is it insured now? I know there was a lot of litigations trying to get passed. Has that gone through? Because I know if my bank loses my couple of thousand dollars, my $3,000, they're gonna give me that money back. You gotta figure it out. You gotta find it. Is this the same thing, or it's like
They'll give it to you back up to $250,000. Yeah.
that's it? So if you're gonna have several accounts if you need to, but am I gonna get my $3,000 back? What's gonna happen here if I lose my crypto? Is it insured?
Well, you see, I don't know first of all how much of it is going to be insured, but even banks they don't bring all the money back, right? It depends on the bank and on the country. In Russia, it's only $20,000. I know in the US, I don't know how much it is.
20? Wow. That's
I mean,
low.
that's not that's low. Yeah, that's low. That's another thing.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin, like one Bitcoin was 60 or 70,000. So if somebody just stole 10 Bitcoins, even a bank is not going to give you that back, right?
And,
I don't know, man.
yeah. In
I
the
don't know.
US, I want to
That's
say FDIC insurance is still
it's
capped
two
at 250,000, I think.
250. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
So
why
if you,
John, the idea you gave me, John has like 5 accounts, right? Because he has, he maxes out on everything. So you guys, I mean, it just sounds
well,
scary,
that's
man.
what you have to do, right? Yeah. Even in
Different
the
accounts,
world
yeah.
of like so-called safe old money, if you want to really insure your money, if you got $1 million, you need 4 different banks to make sure
Yeah.
you're fully covered. It's a pain in the butt. Everything's a pain in
Pain
the
in the
butt,
butt.
Carlos, if you
Right,
really
it's a
want to
pain
be
in the
safe.
butt. Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. All right, we'll see, man. Interesting. I did not know about that. But again, it's just I'll be honest, guys. I don't fully understand this, and I don't think I ever will. I don't get it. But there's a lot more people out there smarter than me that 100% believe in this crypto thing, and they're in it. So we'll see what happens. Are crypto stocks though? How does that translate? Are we getting a hit on some of these things? If I go to Hood, if I go to Coin, people are asking me. I do have some crypto. I have some crypto in Coinbase. I bought some there's like $100 a few years ago just for the heck of it, and it turned a pretty good profit. It's up to like 400 or something. So, but are they taking a hit? I don't see a lot of movement on Coin and some other ones. So is this affecting any of the big guys, John?
No, I haven't seen anything. The hack was very specific to a certain type of wallet, so it's not like an industry-wide problem necessarily specifically, although in a way it kind of is also. But no, let me see here. Coin, do I even have that on my list anymore? Coin's down 1.3%. Who else would we even look at? I can't remember the names. MSTR. What's that one Raph was always trading? Marvell. No, is that it?
No, I
MRVL?
don't think it was that one. Yeah,
No,
so
not
doesn't seem
Marvell.
like yeah,
What the
doesn't
hell
seem
was
to
that
be
stock?
hitting a lot of the big names here.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it as a catalyst for crypto today necessarily.
Oh,
All
you
right,
mean MSTR that sold the 1,600
Mara,
Bitcoins?
that's the one. That's the one Raph's always trading.
yeah, Mara. Yeah, these have been so. I mean, crypto's not moving a whole lot anymore the way it was before. These have been so dead, man. They just don't move the way they used to. We used to have a lot of fun with these, but not anymore. All right, let's. I don't think those two things go together. Crypto is stable, but it is. It has been hanging out just at 60,000, right? I don't follow it every day, but I think it's just been hanging out at 60 in that range, and it's been somewhat stable. So that could be good. All right, let's look at anything else here. We talked about SKHY, SanDisk, MU. All your chip companies are on the downside of things this morning. Pick your favorite. I keep watching NVIDIA, but NVIDIA's not doing it for me. It's really not delivering good intraday trading action. So, again, I hate to take it off the list and miss a good move because I know how well they can trade. So I don't want to take them off the list. But man, I feel like I'm, taking up a spot in NVIDIA every time I put it on the list. So today I'm going to put them on the secondary list, so they won't be on the primary. I do like my primary list the way it looks already, but I do want to watch some of the memory stuff like SKHY. I do have that there. I also want to look at SNDK, although we might trade something different, but SNDK has been pretty good with their movements here. But they have plenty of other things you could look at, like SNXX or other ETFs that you can trade on its behalf. But I will add SNDK on the list because I think some of these memory companies are good to look at. And that's going to be it for me on the gap ups, on the gap down side of things. For John, anything that you want to go over on the gap down, or anything that you have on your list that's going to be part of the gap down this morning?
Gap down. I like SNDK just because it's down almost 4% here. So in MU, so the memory stocks being gap down, that's good. They could bounce for me. I'll be looking for trades to the long side, but a gap down stock can definitely rebound. So those two would be on my list, and then probably AMD is down a little bit more than some other stuff today, so I'd probably keep an eye on AMD. It's down 2.6% right now. Same theory. Stocks that are down can bounce back up. AMD's been trading nice lately too. A bit more volatile. So yeah, that could be a good one.
There's so many, man. I was just looking at Amazon as well. I know we spoke about it earlier. Amazon could be a great one today as it
Oh yeah,
continues here.
on the
You
gap
know,
upside, I'm definitely watching Amazon. I think that's
yeah,
a key one today. Great earnings last week. The all-time high for intraday is 278.56 set back on May 4th, and we're sitting at just above 277 right now. So we're just a dollar and a half away from an all-time high on Amazon. And
yeah.
I feel like finally it's gonna maybe make that move to 300. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm moving Amazon to the top here. I'm taking Baba, moving it to the bottom. Amazon is way, way better this morning, and their daily looks awesome. I mean, just look at this here. The way this is setting up, I think it's worth watching. So, make a couple of switches here, and now SKHY, PLTR, SNDK, circle over into NVIDIA, MU, and Baba towards the bottom. And again, there's just still so much more. Apple is being mentioned in chat as well. So let's take a look at what's going on there. This one is also a good one. I mean, the gap down huge on, well, not huge, gap down on Friday, right? These guys have been hanging out at all-time highs and doing better than any other stocks out there. That's just been just kind of mind their business up here, not doing a whole lot. So they're down here a bit, but they're just right back to the area where they had some support or some resistance prior to breaking their all-time highs, right back in the beginning of July. So Apple looks good, 1.2 million shares traded, tons of volume here. Can it close this gap? Okay, I see what's happening here. Sorry, now I gotta adjust some stuff here. So I'm moving now lower. I'm adding Apple. It's gonna end up being a lot of usual suspect on the top of this list. I already see it. They look so great, especially after the earnings last week. I think they need to be here. All right, let's
I'm
stop
sure
here for
you
a
and
second.
Peter have probably mentioned
yeah?
this, Carlos.
Yeah,
But have you noticed Apple is the anti-spy trader? The
we
past
have mentioned that.
weeks and months.
Yes.
Yeah, very interesting behavior. So when I watch my so-called top 12 list, oftentimes as soon as the market's open for 15, 20 minutes, whatever the SPY is doing, the SPY replicates the S&P 500, and whichever direction it goes, the stocks tend to sort of follow it a lot of times. Not always, but there tends to be a lot of
Yep.
correlation. And Apple has just been this opposite player. There's like SPY goes down, Apple goes up, and vice versa. And so presents a very interesting opportunity when perhaps everything's going down. I'm looking for something going up, and Apple makes itself available. So it's definitely something fun to watch these days.
No, I agree. Me and Peter. It's funny you mentioned that because I know you don't want to don't watch the show all the time because either in the chat room or whatever the case may be. But yeah, we have mentioned that a couple of times. That Apple loves to do opposite of what the SPY is doing. Very rarely are they moving in the same direction. It's just so weird. And Alex Ban, you're 100% correct. 10% is a lot. We're being we're becoming immune to these big moves. Back in the days, 10% on Apple stock, and a stock like Apple, Tesla, NVIDIA, we'll go nuts, like 10%. But now we're getting these bigger moves that we're just desensitized. We really are. 10% down last week. Yeah, it's big. But when I look at the bigger picture, when I look at beginning of the year, look how much we have moved, right? We have moved so much that this looks like a regular pullback to me. It's not. I know it's a lot more than that, and it should be on our list. But I'm not surprised by it. I'm not surprised by 10% drop on Apple back to their recent all-time highs here, right? It actually makes perfect sense. But yeah, I like it. I'm gonna put it on here. Another one we saw like that was in Microsoft as well. Microsoft is good too. Microsoft also moving up nicely here. That could be a good one. I don't like the way Microsoft trades too much, but definitely is better than some of these secondary stuff I have here. Man, there's so much to watch today, guys. We can't go through all of them. But what we could go through is the fun fact of the day with Eamon. Let's go there, and then we'll continue to fine tune this list.
All right, guys. So here is a number that was that kind of surprised me, and it's coming from the memory chip industry. SK Hynix could earn more profit in 2026 than it earned during the previous 27 years combined. I mean, can you imagine that? Not 27 quarters, 27 years. And this year is going to make probably more than all of that. SK Hynix makes high bandwidth memory, or HBM. And these are advanced memory chips that sit beside the AI processors and help them move huge amount of data quickly. And if you think about it, I mean, before the AI, for many years, these memory chips, they were considered one of the less exciting parts of technology. prices went up, companies built too much supply, prices collapsed, and then everyone just repeated the cycle a few years later. And AI just changed all this story. The biggest AI systems need a lot of specialized memory, but supply cannot just increase overnight, right? Building and premiering new production facilities, it just takes a lot of time. So the demand at this stage moved way faster than the supply. And the companies that already had the right memory gained a lot of pricing power. And the same shortage is now showing up everywhere. It's increasing the cost of servers, it's limiting the number of devices Apple can produce. And Amazon said that higher memory prices contributed to its decision to add $20 billion to its annual spending plan. There is also an interesting fact about there is also a lot of companies that you can see that now start producing their own chips because of these chip shortages. So most of these chip companies are still interesting this year and are going to be interesting next few years. But SK Hynix actually, the number that I saw about SK Hynix was actually surprising. Now there is also interesting market fact from July, the Russell 2000. It's an index of smaller American companies, and it is up 18% for the year. It's almost double the year-to-date return of the Dow and Nasdaq. Uh, for 2 years, I mean, everybody was talking about seven giant technology companies, but in 2026, the best performing major US index through July was one that had regional banks and had small companies that probably most of us can't even name. And finally, today in history, on August 3rd, 1492, Christopher Columbus left Spain with 3 ships. The interesting part is that his calculation was wrong. He underestimated the size of the Earth and believed that Asia was much closer than it really was. The experts who rejected his plan, they were correct about the distance, and his voyage succeeded only because North and South America were sitting between Europe and Asia. So if you think about it, Columbus thought that he had reached Asia, but he actually reached the Caribbean. So one of the history's most important commercial voyages began with a bad math or bad number. And it ended by discovering something completely different from what it was looking for. And this feels also kind of appropriate to the AI race that we're sitting in right now. We have 4 companies spending hundreds of billions of dollars. They're chasing a specific future, a specific goal. And along the way, maybe we are going, or they are going to find either something that they exactly expected, or maybe like Columbus, they might find something much larger and completely different. And that's the interesting thing about AI. We have one specific goal at the moment. Companies have one specific goal, but what's going to be unfolded and what we are going to discover in the next few years is the interesting part. So yeah, that's it, guys, for today. I'll be back at 11 a.m. with Kyle and leaving you with John and Carlos for the rest of the show. See you guys.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Eamon. Now we'll continue here with our program and trying to build this watch list. So right now, I'm very happy with what I have. I think we have a great list: Amazon, Apple, SKHY, PLTR, and SNDK. And there's so more on here that I just can't add. I just can't add anymore. But if you look at the gappers list, there are more tickers. We have AMD. We have Intel. I know a lot of people like that one. NBIS was active over the last couple of days too. So if you like that one, it's another one that's on the bottom of this list here. You can take a look at. And they both keep growing. It's so interesting how the gap down and the gap up are both packed today. Usually it's one or the other, but you got a very clear divide here of which stocks are doing well and which ones are not doing so hot. And it looks like all the physical type stuff is on the gap down, all led by tech, by the way. I don't see anything here that's not tech related. And then you have the stuff like Amazon and others on the upside of things here, PLTR on as well. So very interesting. And yes, I do think Amazon is a tech company. It's a tech logistics company. You know, selling is like their second business is selling. The way they figure out how to get products to you so fast. It's a logistical company, tech company. All right. What else, friends? I think we're set. I will ask you guys what you guys like this morning, but I can't fit anything else. But if you want to discuss something, John, anything that you have on your end, or you guys on deck here, I'm full. My list is so full here, and it will be a busy market open. So looking forward to a great list. Melanie, welcome. Melanie, we haven't seen you in a long time. I've been asking everybody where you've been, so good to see you. Glad you're doing well. Hopefully you're doing well. But I was asking, Melanie hasn't been around for about 2 weeks. I was getting ready to send you an email and find out what's going on, but glad to see you in chat. But yeah, guys, let me know what tickers you guys want to look at. We can pull them up and see if there's anything that we can maybe remove from our list that looks better. So let me know anything that's on there that you guys like this morning. We'll take a look at it. And let's see what else we have here. My secondary list could be better. There's some stuff on there that probably could take off, like Baba. Now I'm not a big fan of, so we could remove those and add some more. But it looks pretty good here. Microsoft is one that I was looking at. Yes, Microsoft is one that probably can be pushed into this list. John, I'm sure you're looking at Microsoft. I'm sure that's part of is that part of your list? Are you going to surprise me and tell me that they're off the top 12?
It certainly is. I'll even say what it is because people think it's not some secret. It's SNDK, Microsoft, AMD, Apple, Amazon, SpaceX, PLTR, SKHY, MU, Google, NVIDIA, and Tesla. That's what it currently is. And most of those are pretty solid. I added SpaceX recently and dropped coin. And we'll see if SpaceX ends up being the kind of trader I want it to be, but it's been a little finicky since it opened. And like I said, I dropped Meta after years, after forever, since I started day trading. That's my stock I watched. So that it may come back, but it's getting so expensive, Carlos. I mean, it's just stocks do get to a point where like the price and the movement they give are just don't work out anymore. So Microsoft is actually one of those. It's very expensive as well, $474 a share. If you look at the ATR, like the average true range, how much it moves in a day, it's kind of low for its price, so like it's a lot of money to pay to try to get a $2 move when you can pay a lot less for, I don't know, PLTR, and you still might get the $2 move. You might just have as easy a time getting the same kind of move. So there's always that balance between price and movement you got to figure out.
Yeah. Alex is mentioning SpaceX. Yes, SpaceX is earnings on the 4th, tomorrow. So this will be on our radar. So 100%. It continues to be lower here. Another low this morning down to 105. I think the reality check will come in on after earnings, and we'll see what investors think. And
It'll
heard
be interesting.
something.
Somebody mentioned market cap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody mentioned market cap, like Apple moving 10%, and how much money you're talking about, like when you're talking about those kind of numbers and movements and market caps. SpaceX still has a valuation of over $1 trillion, I'm pretty sure. And like, there's nothing that's going to come out in this earnings report that's going to justify in the current numbers that valuation, right? So it's going to be an interesting stock to try to sort of find its place, because that valuation is all based on future potential of data centers in space and Starship working and all that. It's not about the revenue they're pulling in from doing commercial satellite launches for companies and things like that. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to watch how much, say revenue came in a bit short, but what does that matter in a $1 trillion valuation based entirely on things in the future? It's not really about launching a 100-pound satellite for some company, this month.
It's going to be more of just the market reaction to it, other than the actual number. Like, we know what it's going to be, or expect what it's going to be. How is the market going to react to it, and how are we going to take advantage of that volatility? That's what's really going to come down to. It's like these companies that make no money. We saw this with a lot of space company or travel space company, Virgin Galactic. Same thing. They're not making any money, right? But they report it, because you have to report every so often in if you're listed, right? Which I think they're trying to move to biannually. There's a petition to move some companies biannually if they want to do it that way. They don't have to do it every fourth quarter. For stocks like this one, makes perfect sense. Stocks that don't, they're not really making any money yet, heavy money at least. But yeah, it should be interesting. And did the lockup period get pushed back? I heard the lockup period, one of their lockup periods got pushed back. I gotta. Don't quote me on that. I gotta look that up. But I heard as I was running around getting the kids ready, and it had Bloomberg on, and I heard one of the lockup periods got pushed back. So, again, could have been wrong, because I wasn't running around while I was hearing the alert. But you got SpaceX, you got Tesla. Man, there's so many things that we're just not gonna have space for. I'm not gonna have space for. But Tesla's another one. Is the bleeding done, right? Are we going to have a opportunity for this to go higher and start closing some of these short that we had, short weakness that we had in the last couple of weeks on Tesla? So again, so many things. But I will do this. I love SpaceX. I love the stock has treated me so well. I'm sorry, Baba, you're gonna have to go. It has to be on my list here in some kind of form. So SpaceX will be here, and Tesla. Maybe MU. No, I like MU today. We'll leave this as is. I got John. I got the Tesla guy right here. I got John. John can let me know if something's happening with Tesla. So we got the Tesla guy right here.
Yeah.
All right, friends. That's my list. That's what we have. Let's take a look at bearabletraders.com. You can head on over there and see what's happening in our community. So we'll let you know what's taking place this Monday. Head over to bearabletraders.com. Click on webinars at the top, and we can show you what's taking place. John will walk you through it and then let you know how you can join to become a member of the BBT community.
Webinars. Let's take a look at what's going on today. So we should have onboarding today, right, Carlos? Tonight?
Yes, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. So if you're new to Bearable Traders, this is a very important webinar to attend, and Carlos does it every week. It gets you comfortable with the community and what it offers and what you can get out of it, and just what the expectations should be in day trading, and how to get started in a responsible manner. So please go check out onboarding if you're new to the community. That's a big one. But before all that happens, we will have Kyle today doing a DOS Trader Pro setup and basics for new traders. DOS Trader Pro is basically the preferred platform of the Bearable traders, and so we like to do informational sessions on exactly how to get set up in that. Do we do Tuesday as well on Monday, or just this Monday, Carlos?
Mondays on Mondays.
Just Mondays on Mondays. All right, that's all you get. That's all you get. But you can always go to the Bearable Traders website, bearabletraders.com, to see what else is going on. And if you'd like to join Bearable Traders, there are a few ways to do that. The cheapest way, I'll just go kind of, if you can scroll down just a smidge, Carlos, there is that $39 for 1 week membership that you can get. It's at you see the link at the bottom of the $99 per month. But the $99 per month is an elite membership. It does give you access to everything, including the weekly webinars. So when we talk about, the onboarding classes for everybody, but certain webinars are not, like strategy webinars on Tuesdays, psychology webinars on Wednesdays for that elite membership. So you'd want to do that $99 a month to get that. Then we have two other options to join, and I'll point out the big discriminators here. If you go for that career option, it does come with the $50,000 funded account. That's the big one there. That gets you a $50,000 buying power simulated account that you can trade for 90 days. If you come out ahead, if you make any more money than what you started with, even $1, Andrew's going to send you a check for $1. If you make $10,000 more than you started, that's the cap. You can get the maximum amount, $10,000. So great opportunity there to get that funded account. And then if you want to go for the big one there, you can go for that inner circle at $49.99. Big discriminator there is the endless shrimp buffet of boot camp that we offer. Unlimited boot camps forever, for the rest of your life. You could be with me in 30 years. I'll be 80 years old. And you could be getting your, I don't know, like 90th boot camp from me at that point. And Carlos will still be there as well. It's going to be, his beard will be even longer and even whiter.
Yes.
That is the cool part about joining the inner circle. It's a great opportunity. So yeah, come join us.
Absolutely, friends. All right. How does the taxes work on the funded account? I think you get what you get, and then you got to deal with the taxes on your own. So go to your tax advisor and say, hey, I got this from this. What should I do? And they'll say, hey, you should do this, or you could do that. Depends, up to you. Right, so that's, I know I didn't say a lot.
Carlos.
I didn't say a lot there, but I said a lot.
Like, first question, what country do you live in? The second, question,
Yeah.
if it's America, what state do you live in, or what
Yeah.
Canadian province? I don't know. I don't know how your taxes work. So
Yeah. Or you could chat GPT this stuff, and good luck with that too. But again, we can't give you advice. But yeah, you're gonna get what you get, and then you go to your guy, tell him what you got, and then he'll tell you what to do, and then go from there. So right. So that's the best way to do it. All right, friends. Let's continue. I think I'm set. I like my list this morning. We got about 20 something minutes to the market open. Amazon, Apple, SKHY, PLTR, SNDK. I mean, it is a blockbuster type day today with this watch list. I mean, there's just so much you can look at on both sides, long, short. So if you like any type of bias or direction, there's room for you in any way you want to go here. We still got Intel we can look at. AMD, we talked about slightly. BE last week, very, very active with a lot of the stuff happening there. The guy that lost billions last week as well, that's another story that affected a couple of things, which again didn't affect much. I don't see anybody crying this morning. Things going out of business, right? Citadel took care of the stuff there, and I don't see anything else on here. CrowdStrike, we haven't seen this in a while. CRWD, well, I have not looked at this in some time. They're up this morning 2.7. So if you like this one, we had a lot of fun with this weeks ago. It was awesome. It was really, really good. Like every other day we had it in play. Lately have not been on my list for the most part. So we're pretty set here. Any questions or anything else? Amazon I have on my list, guys. Yes, absolutely. We talked about Amazon. This is on here. It looks great today. Look at this daily. Look how beautiful that gap up. Microsoft is another one that also looks great. I just don't have any more space on my list. But Microsoft is awesome here. So you can look at that one also. Crushing it. Microsoft and Amazon both crushing it here this morning. So pick your favorites. And yeah, Roblox is a good one if you are thinking they can survive this downturn. If you're thinking long term, that could be a nice one as well. Another thing that we looked at over the weekend was Brian. His newsletter, his video are incredible. So if you have not signed up, make sure you do that. Every week, Brian puts out a video on his YouTube channel talking about the week that passed, the week ahead, some of his positions that he's in, what he's looking for. And it's always an amazing video. Great information. So if you haven't done that, check out his newsletter. You can sign up at Bearwood Traders as well. And he goes over some of the stuff for this week and last. But yeah, there it is, friends. I'm ready. Let's go ahead and start doing some levels. I want to prepare, and then we can see what our team is watching in the chat room, and we'll be ready for the market open. Let's start here with the first one for me, Amazon. So I'm just going to plug it in here, and let's get some levels done. All right, we'll start here. Amazon this morning up 2% after a massive move up last week after earnings. Again, just crushing it here, delivering nicely. Level towards the bottom, we have a 266 on the daily. It's a big range there. So, but this 266.46 looks great. You do have some levels here that you do want to mark down. Below that, just in case you do drop, I mean, look how clean these levels are on the daily. You really can't miss it, right? Just look at where the points where everybody comes at, changes directions right around that area. You see it over and over again. See some strength coming in 256. Change of direction. These are usually very strong areas, so you want to have that down just in case you decide that, hey, this is going lower. Might not be in play today, maybe in the next couple of weeks if things decide to turn around. Heading towards their all-time highs. We're not there yet on Amazon. Is roughly around this 278.47, so I'm going to mark that there. But you can see they're pushing higher this morning, trying to get there. So looking very nice. One of my favorite stocks this morning is Amazon, and we don't say that a lot when it comes to Amazon. Brian's YouTube, I think it's Brian Pessum. I don't know the exact link, but if you Google Brian Pessum, it'll come right up. All right, let's see. Let's take a look here. Here's Apple is next. So Apple also getting pushed down here to where they were just about weeks ago. So we'll see what they do next. 312.75 is the high of the pre-market. Towards the bottom, we do have 307.39. So we're going to mark that there. If I can get the right hotkey, there we go. 307.52. And then if we move to the daily a little bit here, we can see an area right over here, 293.94 in case you do drop. Right now we're seeing a little bit of a strength as we're staying green. 316.91 is a great level, and then the next one over here at 322.31. So there's Apple looking really good this morning. SKHY has been a great ticker for us. Really clean, tons of volume. I mean, it is just so smooth to trade this thing, and looks like it is in play today again. 2.2 million shares traded, 3.6 down 3.6 this morning. And it just looks awesome. So as far as the daily goes, towards the bottom, we're going to mark a couple of days here down at 125.14, and then we also have here 129.73, and then towards the top, surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. Don't really have to add a whole lot, but this trades so well. Really love the way this thing is trading. Love the volume. And at the market open, we're getting some pretty nice moves. PLTR this morning, let's take a quick look on what's happening there. Earnings tonight. So we'll see how this does. But again, it could be in play today. We are gapping up 3% almost this morning to 127.61 is the high. The low is going to be hanging out at 124.70, which is right over here. And then if we look to the left, we're going to see the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days towards the bottom. Towards the top is where we want to focus. Actually, before I go to the top part, I do see right where the price action is. You see that red line here. I know that's hard to see on small monitors, but you can see it right over here. It's the price line. I'm going to mark that because you can tell on the daily, that area where the price is at right now, you can see a lot of touches on there, right? So definitely want to have that there. Is 126.40, we'll call it there. If you look at the pre-market session, you can see already, which has been just kind of back and forth around that line. So I want to have that marked just in case it's going to become an important level of support or resistance as this price dances around after the market is open. So that is PLTR. Next is going to be SNDK. SNDK this morning. Let's put it right on here. SNDK. We are doing the low of the pre-market 11.48, and then towards the top we're looking at 12.50 as your high. Surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. Towards the bottom, I'm going to mark down 10.56 and also 1,000 key level there in case we do move. This stock could move, but there's other things you can look at. You can look at SNXX. Which is a great ticker, actually. Been watching this over the last couple of days when the SanDisk is moving pretty nice. This is really, really good, right? This is really, really good. So take a look at it. I think it can trade well, and there's some other ones too. There's a bunch, actually, that you have for SNDK, but this is the one that I kind of like the way the pre-market action moves here, and I've been watching it. It does pretty well. So I'll be watching that one as well as I'm thinking of SNDK here. And that is the list, friends. Again, I think it looks great. Amazon, Apple, SKHY, PLTR, and SNDK this morning. Even our secondary list has some bangers in there, like SpaceX and some other ones that will be front and center as well. All right, John, how does the chat room look right now? How are our moderators? What does their watches look like this morning?
It looks like they're being lazy, Carlos. I don't see a single moderator putting in their trades here. So I mean, I'll tell you what I'm looking at because I'm a Bearable Traders moderator. I have an opinion. Gosh darn it. I will be watching Amazon for sure. Again, I'm always looking for high day breaks. I'm looking for stocks that break out to the long side. And look, stock trading doesn't have to be complicated. And I'll tell you, like, stocks that are gapping up and bullish are better for breakout higher. Like, that's just the way it goes. I mentioned earlier this morning, stocks that are falling can do sort of the bounce, right? So your SNDK or MU could be good for a bounce, but I just want to trade something that's bullish. So Amazon, maybe BABA, which I haven't traded in a long time, could be good. I like that AI model news that they had. So I'll be watching those two. And then, I've had Pedro asking about other stocks like Tesla in the chat, in the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
It doesn't look particularly interesting. Tesla's got that low of this. It seems to be like this 107 low that it's toying with on the daily, I think. Oh, no. No, that was SpaceX. I'm sorry. I'm getting my stocks mixed up. He also asked about SpaceX. I'm like getting the prices all wrong. He asked about SpaceX as well. That's got this 107 low that it keeps testing. It's just below it now. If it seriously starts to lose that, it could accelerate. That could be interesting to the downside. But for me, probably PLTR, Amazon, and what was the other one I said? BABA, I think, are interesting this morning.
All right, there you go, friends. We are set. We are set to go. 9 minutes to the market open, and I do like my list here. Yeah, awesome. That's funny. Now I'm looking at some of the comments. Yeah, I got a funny story about me losing my car. Well, I didn't lose it; it got stolen, and it was kind of funny the way it got. Stolen is not the right word. It got taken in error. That's the right word. John, you won't believe this thing. So we used to work in the office. We used to drive up a big parking lot, and the office parking lot was very kind of empty because we only have a few employees in there. We have about 50 people. We just moved in, big building. The parking lot was for like 100 plus people, right? So we had the building to ourselves. And I pulling up in the morning. There was already a Ford SUV parked, and I pull up my Ford SUV, and for some reason I just parked next to it. I don't know. It was just the way, you come in, you just park. That's my spot. So I parked next to it. It's like fall, it's cold in the morning, hot in the afternoon. So I take my jacket off, I leave it in the car, and I go upstairs, whatever. I spend the whole day. I come back out, my car's not there. I call HR like, hey, my car's gone. You want to check the camera, see who took it? And come to find out, the guy that was parked next to me, right, got into his car because it was like this. Here's the office door. He came walking out, got into his car, and took my car. When I took off my jacket, I left my keys in the jacket. So these are push start, right? So he just went. I never locked my car. I should. Just got in and just left. And it was one of our vendors. So he was there checking the AC or something. It's one of our people that we do business with. So, HR got a hold of him saying, listen, you're not in the right car. Your car's still here. And he starts looking down like, oh, shit, you're right. It's not my car. And I had to wait like 30 minutes for him to get back. And when his car, when they start looking at his car, they're like, how did this guy confuse your car? It's the same, similar color for his. His car, John, cigarette butts everywhere, papers everywhere. His wife's bag. His wife's like her bag, like big size bag. Like this guy has stuff in his car. My car looked like it just came off the dealership. Nothing. No papers, clean, no cigarette boxes. How you come in here, drive for 30 minutes, and don't realize that you don't have your cigarette because you could tell his car smells like smoke. So he smokes in his car. So I'm sure the first thing you go is go for a cigarette. And don't realize what he thought somebody came in and serviced his car and cleaned it up. And like, what went through this guy's head? Some people are just like mind-blowing, oblivious to what's going on around them. So, or maybe he thought, hey, this car's better than mine, so I'm going to keep this one. I don't know. It was just a very interesting, funny experience. I never seen anything like it.
Your audio's going, Carlos.
Yeah.
I will say an interesting thing about some people is they're ignorant, like delusionally ignorant about how messy they are. I know people like this, and they can't even see the mess around them, whether it's their car or their house or something. They don't quite see it. So like, I can totally imagine this guy gets into a clean car and he's like, hell yeah, this is my car. It's great because I take care of my stuff, and he just doesn't see the cigarette butts and the Dunkin' Donuts cups and all the crap in the car.
Dude,
there's a somewhat viral video of a woman who did the same thing. She took a car that wasn't hers because the key was left in the car. She got in. She thought she was starting it with her key, and the cops pulled her over, and she was shocked. It's funny.
Yeah, it can happen. I'm telling you, it happened to me. Never again do I leave the keys in the car. I still don't unlock it sometimes, but never again do I leave it in the car. And yeah, I never keep my car. If you get into my car, there's nothing valuable there. I don't keep. My car is meticulously clean. There's nothing there. You could get in. You're not gonna find anything, right? So it's just that type of situation. I know people that leave their whole life in their car. I don't understand that. All right, friends, we are ready to go here. Yeah, go ahead.
I got you beat, Carlos. I got a vacuum I bought for my Tesla. So like I use self-driving most of the time, pretty much all the time. So I'll be going down the road and I got this little rechargeable handheld vacuum and I'll be doing the dash and I do all the pockets and everything going down the road. It's hilarious. I've never had a cleaner car because I got this car 2 years ago. My kids are older now. Finally, there's no goldfish. There's no crap in it.
Yeah.
There's no wrappers.
My wife's car, it's a whole different story. Because when we go with the kids, we go on her car. And her car is like, and I don't blame
boxes,
her.
Uncrustable wrappers. Everything,
Can't
yeah.
blame her.
And it's like
Yeah.
my car is so clean now that if a dog hair shows up on the back seat, I'm in there with the vacuum.
Sticks
Like,
out like a
oh
sore thumb.
hell no, I'm getting that out of there.
Oh my goodness, it is amazing. I always said I'm not gonna be that person that has their car so dirty. How can these parents be so dirty? Then I had kids, and you realize that okay, I get it. They're eating like this. They're eating just like throwing everything all over the place. It gets everywhere. You can't stop it, like little monsters when they're eating in the back seat there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's unbelievable. But love them, love them, love them. All right, guys, we are ready for the market open here. I love my list this morning, just hoping that it can deliver some good opportunities, and we are set to go. So, friends, get your affairs in order. Market open starts in about 3 minutes here, and then change. So, let's get it going. All right, let's see what else. How's our chat doing? Anything on the chat? Any moderators with their list? What we got going on over there?
Am I crazy?
my market
Oh yeah,
on
there's
this, so-
we got Eamon says he's watching scanners, and Jared says he's watching SDNK, SNDK, excuse me, MU and Meta, secondary AMD, PLTR, and SpaceX. So a lot of stuff we mentioned, except Meta, that Andrew or Jared's watching for some reason. So not sure his reasoning on Meta. I didn't really take a look at it this morning. It's up 1.6%. Oh, it's in the midst of a nice rebound on Meta. Meta took a big hit right after their earnings, I think. So it's fallen from some big highs. Meta used to be up around 800 at its highs, and it fell recently to 525 thereabouts. I mean, that is a large chunk of their market cap gone. So they're trying to claw that back. And if you look at Thursday and Friday, they had some great days. So yeah, this could be another one here. Meta's a money printer, Carlos. It's hard to bet against it still to this day. I know their products are getting perhaps a little dated, it feels, but still, man, a lot of clicks.
Absolutely. Rap, yes, congrats, you did win. I emailed you, I believe. But your question in regards to, we emailed you the code, so you should be good to go. Wow, look at Meta in the last couple of seconds here. Yeah, once you have the code, you can activate it whenever you're ready, whenever you want. So we are set. All right. Okay, here's Meta.
Carlos, I'll throw out the offer I did last time I filled in for Peter, and I'm not going to repeat it too much. I'm just going to throw it out there. And if you guys think this is a good deal, then you guys can promote it yourselves in the chat as the show goes on and try to get the likes yourself. But if we do get 500 likes today, which is tough to do, but if we get it, I will send somebody. We will raffle off one of these Bearable Trader coins, which are unique relics in our community. There's only 100 Bearable Trader coins that exist. There are only 100 Bearable Trader coins that will ever exist. They are all individually numbered on the side on their beautiful gold, not gold plated, but gold plated looking side. It's a beautiful coin. It says Bearable Traders. Don't trade alone, trade with us. It's very cool. So if we happen to get to 500, then you can do the raffle, and we'll pick a winner, and we'll get them one of these coins. That sound good, Carlos?
That sounds awesome to me, my man. Let's do it. Get 500 likes.
Last time I'm saying
buttons. Hit the like button, friends. Let's make it happen. We'd love to give that away. All right, Amazon hasn't had enough. Continues higher here after the bell. It's a big push at the moment, showing some strength. We got our market atlas up. We got our chat room up. I want to see what Andrew's trading. So I got the chat room up on one of the monitors. And let's see what the action is today. Probably going to look for a 5-minute ORB at first. I'm probably going to skip the 1-minute ORB. Things look too wild this morning for a 1-minute ORB. So.
Pulling up Amazon on my main screen here. Watching how this plays out here in the beginning. The very first high day break at Amazon could be good. So what I'm looking for is an initial push up, pull back, and then trade the break. And then I want to wait 5 minutes. Anything below that tends to be too goofy.
All right, we're seeing here PLTR showing some weakness. SNDK. Yeah, I'm definitely waiting 5 minutes. I mean, things just look better, a little bit nicer after 5 minutes. Apple dropping quite a bit here off the pre-market, off the the previous day close, going red.
SPY sold a decent amount, $2 going into the open there. The last 5 minutes of the pre-market, the SPY sold off. We'll see if any of that is recovered here. Our relative volume on the SPY is 82% right now, so it's a fairly normal trading day. So
Yeah.
decent volume.
SPY. SNDK continues lower. MU as well, down here.
NVIDIA's off to a nice rip to begin the day. Might go tag that 200 level.
And Tesla. SKHY. A lot of stuff just down right now. So let's see in the next 2 minutes how things start to shape up and see which one is the best one for me for a 5-minute ORB if we get one.
Andrew's already trading Amazon. He took Amazon early, second 1 minute candle, and I see his entries. I don't see his sell orders yet, so I don't know that he sold any.
Yeah, Amazon looking really nice, man. It looks like it wants to go here. So let's see. They've been trading very, very well. Google pushing higher. That was a nice 1 minute engulfing.
I got the first part of what I want. I got Amazon to do a run. I got a pullback going on, which is on the order of a couple bucks, which is good. It's enough. So it's enough to call it a pullback. You know, I don't want to fool myself into thinking like some little minor candle move is really a pullback. I need to see a pullback that's a pullback, and it's just kind of I don't know. It's an intuitive assessment, I guess.
Apple pulling back to the VWAP.
All right. I am long some Amazon. Let's see if I can
Very
get this
nice.
through my entry. Watching, might snap back on me. Could be a loss still. Initially, it's going in my direction. 285 is going to be a big level just because it's a $5 level, and that's the way life works. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah. Andrew added to his Amazon. He is in nicely heavy for the move higher, which he's getting right now. He's looking at his levels on Market Atlas. Market Atlas, friends from tradingterminal.com, you can see 285.25 and higher. There's just so much up there. Look at it go, John. What's your target for this? What are you aiming for?
I would like. My target might be to get the hell out in a second. Yeah, not good. Oh, it's playing at my entry, which is it's hard because this is what high days do. They will toy your entry for a retest. So I'm holding through that first retest. I'm allowing that to happen. I am now throwing my stop at break even, hard stop, so it will stop out by itself now because that first retest is all I'm willing to allow it to do. My target's probably 283, 285.50 would be enough, honestly, to call it pretty much a day. This is an interesting. Oh man, it's working out pretty good, Carlos.
Yeah, it is, man. All the demand is upside. 286 does not look far from your target.
Just had 286, 286.04. It actually hit. Oh, this is hard to judge. I don't want to.
It looks bullish, man. It looks very bullish.
It does. This is where you play the game of call it a day or go for something special. The market's
Yeah.
going in the right direction. The SPY's in my direction, so that's not working against me. The Qs are in my direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I'm holding. I'm holding. I'm holding.
Let's see if
I'm
we can
selling. I
get to
sold it
that
all, Carlos.
286.
I got to I
Hey,
got to move. I got to.
you got the
Well,
move. You got the
plenty.
move.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
that's in my target zone, so I took it off. All right.
Very nice. Very,
Rock and
very,
roll.
very nice. All right, there it is, friends. I think it'll go higher. What about
No. Like trust me, folks. It can go higher today, but it's a
yeah,
matter
yeah.
of can it go higher without coming back down to
Before,
my
yeah,
entry,
before, yeah,
which it
yeah,
just did. It just
right.
came back to my entry, and I can't play that game. There's too many shares on the line to like let it like drop $2.
Yeah.
I'd be well past my max loss. So this is the game of day trading. Like you don't always get the whole move of the day. And you see people beat themselves up about that all the time, saying, oh, I should have held because it went so much longer. You should have a target when you start to take the trade. Like I told Carlos, like 285.50 was about my target. I sold at 285.53. I got out at that target, and that's the game. It could go to 290 today. That's not my trade. It's not a missed trade from 285 to 290. I don't look at that as a missed opportunity. You have to have a plan when you start. You have to have an entry, a stop, and a target, and that's your trade, and that's your whole job is to do that. Not worry that some bigger move happened later that you missed.
It's gonna happen, and you just can't plan for that. I agree. All right, let's see here, friends. Nothing for me. Yeah, I don't see any 5-minute ORB. MU kind of putting it in engulfing right at the view up right now, so we'll see where that goes. SanDisk did push higher. Trying to go green.
SpaceX is ripping here.
Yeah.
In fact, it's ripping toward PDC, which I would assume it would not go through easily. Probably it just went through the low from yesterday, which can be a tough level because you're trying to get back into yesterday's range.
Yeah.
But it's holding that for now. It retested yesterday's low after it went through it. We'll see what SpaceX can do here. So 2 key levels here. Yesterday's low in PDC is what it has to contend with right now. Tesla's also moving nicely here.
Yeah,
Microsoft's moving nice.
SKHY could be something right at the VWAP as well.
Mr. Steve in the YouTube chat's mentioning he just read Trading in the Zone. If you haven't read that book, that's
classic.
It's a classic. It's nothing but good advice. And I've never met anybody who didn't read that, especially reading it after you've been trading for a while. To read it before you start is not probably as valuable. But once you've gotten your butt kicked and frustration has set in a little bit, go read that book. And it'll
I read it after. It's funny. I didn't read it before. I read it after I was already trading. And you're right. It does hit different because you relate to it, to what's happening, quite a bit. So
yeah, because if you read a trading book too early, you're like, well, I would never make that mistake.
I'm not gonna do that.
I would never do that. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will.
That's so true. That is so true. That's never gonna be me. All right, SKHY failed, so not going to the VWAP. All right, PLTR. Let's see what this does. I see that, Mo. Let's check if that can break out here. But right now, everything seems to be using the VWAP as rejection, right? So, not getting the warm and fuzzy on these VWAP plays. And it is early, too. Keep in mind, it is a little bit early for the VWAP breakout to be as effective as we would like. SanDisk coming back down. So, nice pop up, but then here, back down. If I do trade this, I'm going to trade with a SNXX. So this one, could trade this is a little bit nicer on the price. I don't usually trade stocks this low, under $15, $20. But this is different. This is tied into an actual, stock that is not an $8 stock, if that makes sense, right?
I'm gonna start grabbing some trades from our chat room here so we can look at those later
Yeah.
in the show.
See what they did.
Bet there's gonna be some good ones today. I can always tell when stocks do some nice morning rips. You're gonna get some winners in there for sure.
Yeah, I think Amazon's strong, man. So my thoughts on Amazon, I mean, I think it wants to be a strong stock today. Are the pullbacks going to allow it to do that? Is the market going to be supportive of that? I think this stock wants to go, right? Then you get to a point where it's like, okay, we're to extend it. There's going to be some room for hopefully some reversals, right? So be patient, guys. One thing I learned, man, I'm telling you guys, the minute I reduced the number of trades I was taking, I saw profitability. I get the question all the time. You trade so little. Oh, you don't trade so much. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. When I was taking 10 trades a day, I was not making money. When I'm taking 10 trades in every 2 weeks, yes, it is profitable. So there's a madness for the selectiveness. And again, everybody's so different in the way they trade. Wow, PLTR did actually make the move. I thought they were going to reject here. They came so under the VWAP. I didn't think it was going to come back. So if you got back in on this one, it is making a nicer move here. So take advantage of it. Looks like it wants to go. And let me know, guys, if my mic is acting up today. For some reason, something has changed in the system that it is creating a lot more static than it normally does. 3 times already today compared to not having this issue at all. Mo, great call. And not Mo and everybody, Mo and everybody else. Great call on PLTR. If you took that one, you got the pop there. I mean, it's $1. It's $1 right there on PLTR. So very nice.
Harris crushed a trade on Tesla this morning, as always.
He did. Let's take a look at Tesla.
Well, I shouldn't say as always, but he's a great trader.
Yeah. He sure is. No, we adjusted the settings on the mic. So yeah. We are good.
Always is a word you got to get out of your trading language. We use it all the time. People always say, the stock always does this. This always happens to me. And it sounds like a small thing, but like there's these little psychological things you got to watch out for in trading that you're always fighting yourself more than anything. Like 90% of the time, you're just fighting your own psychological issues and trying to keep yourself in check. And when you use that word always, you can sort of trick yourself.
Be dangerous.
It does happen always. Nothing happens always in trading. It's all probabilities. Some things happen more than other things happen, or some things happen more often than not. SpaceX high day.
Says DFNS is running. Oh boy, what is that up to again? Is it up to 100 something? DFNS. And the only reason we know this ticker is because we talked about it so much last week. It's halted. Here you go. On his way to $52. The madness continues from $25.90 this morning. So it's not done doing what it does. And again, just be careful. Second halt of the day here. This thing is wild. What else, friends? What else?
Someone's asking me in the chat why I don't trade short. I just answered them via message, but
yeah,
this short answer is I don't need to. There's plenty of trades in the long direction. Like you really got to find ways to slow yourself down, and which is Carlos was just talking about this. Like you have to figure out how to slow down. You will be a much better trader. I know it doesn't feel that way. You want new traders want to mash those keys and just keep taking positions and give it another try. You will chew yourself up, man. You will drive yourself crazy and you will lose money. Like you have to slow down. Like just something's got to slow you down. So like when we teach boot camp, when people do that 90-day boot camp, we teach them to for 90 days, you're going to focus on one thing. One thing. You're going to learn to focus on one thing. That's kind of the whole premise of the thing. Like, we're going to teach you how to build a strategy and a trade book on one idea. But man, I never get anybody complaining about that in the end. They're just like, I've learned so much discipline here. I learned to wait. I learned to analyze. It may not be the strategy they keep for the rest of their life or whatever, but it's the point is learning how to slow down and be disciplined and picky and choosy.
Yeah.
So whatever you can do, for me, one of the things I do is I don't trade short. It just reduces the temptation, helps me focus.
All right, friends. The FNS
Amazon's
is
really gotten
back.
sticky there.
Yeah.
286 is tough for Amazon. We're getting a lot of rain here today, Carlos. I got a flash flood warning, like one of those crazy warnings on the phone that makes the
then the alarm. Yeah. I didn't get one of those today, but we have warnings of possible flood in the area, and yeah, it's gonna rain all day today.
Last week, Albany, just south of Albany, got like 8 inches in 24 hours, which is just
That's wild,
insane.
man.
It's in the Hudson River Valley
Yeah.
too, which is kind of dangerous because when the water comes down those hills, it gets pretty wild.
Wild stuff for sure.
Getting some pops here on Tesla and NVDA are coming up, testing their, not quite their highs, but they might get there. Both of those stocks could be good breakout stocks. Tesla and NVIDIA NVIDIA's got interesting resistance just below 200. If you hold up an atlas of NVIDIA, I'm sure you will see a large order at 200. That's where large orders pull up. It's at dollar levels, $5 levels, $10 levels, and definitely $100 levels, which is what NVIDIA is looking to try to get to here at 200.
Yeah, NVIDIA looks like it wants to break out here. Trying.
Let's see if this next volume bar can come in. It's getting some. I'm going to try a little. That was not a good start. I'm getting out of that trade immediately. Took a little tiny loss on NVIDIA. That I did not like that second candle. That was ugly. Get back a little bit of my Amazon money there.
SPY is doing well today. Trading very nice to the upside.
Yeah, 752 on the SPY. We're less than 10 points away from all-time highs.
Not bad.
Here goes NVIDIA again. Trying for that two. Still doesn't have the 200 break. 199.94 on the high.
Saying this might be trying to go green. PLTR, the move didn't last long. Came up here, gave you $1 and change, right back to the VWAP, and then just been sideways. So not a whole lot of love on PLTR. Shooter, no trades for me yet today, man. We'll get something though. I have a feeling we'll get some kind of VWAP breakout or breakdown. Maybe Amazon could be the breakdown. Who knows? Although I'm Amazon, I see it as a very strong stock. I think that my first concern is going to be this might be support coming into the VWAP. So I'm not thinking short on Amazon, even with this pullback here, right? It's had a big move and it's rejecting actually pretty nice here. Very difficult reversal because you didn't even really get a double top reversal on. It just kind of couldn't break and the buyers took control. So the sellers, excuse me, to control the price at the moment. MU wrapping itself around the VWAP. Apple, yeah, Apple's nice because Apple's coming towards the VWAP and the previous day close, so there could be something here. SKHY. Nasser, great question. I probably traded ORB for maybe 2.5 years. 2.5 years before I added the VWAP. So what's a long time? Could have been more, maybe 3. It's a little. I'll have to go back and look at like my notes when we started adding this thing. Yeah, I think it probably was more than 2 years, maybe 3. All right, let's go through our list here. We have CRCL taking off. Yeah, very difficult breakout though, because you have no indication unless you saw something else in level 2 or some kind of level. This thing just takes off, right, from doing nothing. And the hard part about this, what makes this different than this, and this, right? Maybe some volume indication that you could have caught. So a very difficult VR breakout because you're not coming up to it with momentum. It's just you're just consolidating under it, and then now you're getting the actual breakout. So it's a tough trade. Next we have SanDisk sideways, right? Not doing a whole lot. I think it wants to bounce. I mean, has had a lot of weakness, but nothing yet. MU, nothing yet there. Tesla wrapping itself consolidating just above the VWAP here, so nothing at the moment. NVDA still hasn't broken out. John, you're looking for a 5-day breakout on this one, right? On NVIDIA.
I tried it. I gave it 2 tries on NVIDIA, and I was giving back profit on Amazon. I decided to leave it alone. It's being too finicky at 200. I think when the break comes, it could be quite good, but what I can't do is keep like getting burned at 200. So I'm just gonna leave it alone.
Yeah. Nasser, great question. Do I recommend a trader start with one strategy at the start? Yeah, I think put your focus all on one strategy. Like, don't try to do too much. Focus on one strategy, and if it's a strategy like the 5-minute ORB, which there's the breakout in NVIDIA, so that's happening. There it goes. If it's a strategy like the 5-minute ORB, which you have a very limited window on when you can actually trade that strategy, and there's not a whole lot of opportunities that show up for that strategy, what you could do is backtest. Get a trading terminal, go at the replay simulator, and just go back and trade stuff that happened in the past, right? That still will get your muscle memory up, will get you to practice, look at different screen time. Screen time that has happened is still screen time, right? So you still can look at that in real time. Try to pick days, obviously, that are far back enough that you don't remember what took place on that market day. Try to keep it as clean as possible as to what data you have that you wouldn't normally have when you are trading. And yeah, try to find opportunities that way, right? Try to just focus on one single stock. Once you get a little bit better and you want to add something, I always tell people add a stock that happens at a different time frame. So when the market opens, you're focused on 5-minute ORB. A couple of minutes later, maybe an hour later, you're focusing on 5-day breakouts or VWAP breakouts or something else, but not two at the same time. That can kind of be a little bit tougher. So one at a time, I think, works. That's kind of what the bootcamp does. Like when it comes to the bootcamp, that's what we do. We want you to focus on one strategy, one trade book. Once you get that one right, then you can just copy and paste, Copy and paste.
All right, I did take a long on Tesla here on this breakout. Let's see if this will carry for.
All right.
I'm only looking to get to 319. Even 318.50 might be enough. Where'd I get in at? I kind of need 319. Technically, I need 318.77 to call it a minimum profit trade. But 319 would be a better target. If I'm going to target 1877 might as well go for kind of like 319. Okay, come on, baby. Okay, I'm throwing a hard stop at break even. So now I will get stopped out if it comes back down. Got to beat this $half level here. There it goes. Oh, I saw 78 on the bid. 71, 63. Get up there. Get up to 318.90 something. Come on.
Let's see.
There it goes. All right, I'm
There it
selling
goes.
there.
There it
All right,
goes.
that's good.
Nice,
That undoes
nice,
my
nice.
stupid NVIDIA trades, and that's it. I'm done. I'm done, fellas. I'm locking my
Yeah,
montage.
walking away, lock the montage, walk away with the money.
I'm done.
Walk away with
That's actually
the money.
kind of a better looking trade than my Amazon trade, honestly. I really like the volume coming in on that one. We'll see which one I will share this morning as I gather up the trades here.
Yeah, yeah. Ah, NVIDIA too, falling in line, man. Look at it go here.
Yeah,
PLTR.
NVIDIA got going.
Yeah. PLTR also moving higher.
AMD is coming up to the high of day. It's getting a good rip going.
MU. Yeah, I'm not finding, guys, a good VWAP type breakout. Apple came up to the list, and here it's just using it as rejection. Like it's not able to break out of it. So PLTR is moving higher, but this to me is not one of my strategies, right? Like this is not a VWAP breakout to me at all. Here it was. Here it's just, this is more support, you know, bounce. So that's good. So that's not gonna work. AMD, yeah, we're getting some strength, some buyers coming in right now, pushing stuff higher. You see Spies doing his thing. The question is Apple going lower? Of course it is, because Spies going. I'm telling you, enough people are gonna start linking these two things that it's gonna become a self-fulfilling prophecy. When Spy goes up, Apple goes down, and that happens. It becomes a thing because, you know, everybody just starts thinking that's the thing, and it becomes a reality. Not always. Nothing is always, as John said. SKHY, yeah, I have it on here. Again, not the not a quality VWAP breakout, because I feel like we've just been consolidating here, so we don't have the momentum. Like here, we have the momentum coming up to the VWAP. We had the breakthrough, pullback, and then breakout. That's great. Still a VWAP breakout, but this is not the one I have on my strategy, right? So that's the thing. You can still take this and play the long in the bullishness we're getting right now. Yes, I agree. I think you can. I think you can. I only buy, it's too high for me, Apple, for a swing. So I'm sorry, American Airlines. So I only buy when it's down here. I got my levels alerts. Under close to 10, under 10, I'm buying American Airlines, right? So I think here is too high for me. But in this area seems to be the place where all the times I have bought under $10, it has paid off pretty nice, right? So that's my my area. So I might think of swim. I have all my alerts under 10. I'm getting alerted, and then we're checking out what's going on, make sure that the world is not falling apart. And if it's not, then yeah, I'm buying long on American Airlines. So far we've done about 5 of those trades, and they all have become green. So can't complain. But again, these are swing trades. I'm buying that if sometimes it takes months before we get to our target, right? I'm not looking to get it in the next couple of days. I'm sitting in it and just letting it do its thing, right? So different style of trading. And I don't buy with heavy leverage. That's another thing too. I don't know how many times we can see the same story again with this guy also, whatever his name was, that the guy thought he knew it all. He's a very smart guy, right? Very smart guy. From a situation awareness, awesome guy. But it doesn't matter how smart you are, if you're over leveraged, right? When things swing in your direction more than you expected that it would, you're going to get slammed. You know, and we see it over and over again. We saw it with this guy, with Bill Wang, and the list goes on and on to the beginning of time. If you get over leveraged on something, you are going to get smacked eventually when things swing the other way. And in a month or two, this guy would have tripled his account easily, right? Maybe less time than that, because he had the AI play. So in a couple of by the end of this week, he could have been okay. But when you can survive those drops because you're over leveraged, you're gonna hurt yourself. So when I take these swing trades, I don't over leverage. I literally could sleep at night. You know, like it's not an issue.
I let a day trade turn into a swing trade once, Carlos, as one does when they're being stupid. And,
we all done that, yeah.
And it was too many shares, and the stock kept falling and falling. And I was convinced, I'm like, this stock's gonna rebound. Like it's right. Still got a great story. Yeah. Like I think that this sell-off's completely overblown, but I couldn't survive it. And I'm like, I have to leave this trade. I have to take this loss because I got myself in too big. If it had been smaller, I could have waited it out, and it did come back, but not before I had to sell and lose thousands of dollars. So sucks.
Issue have partial. You know what is? I don't get it with these guys. Like I do get it because we've been there too. Where you see it going down, and you're just like, why don't you just cut it, or why don't you just partial? You know, or why don't you take some risk off, right? Partial, because you can. If you have a swing trade and you see it going the wrong way, you can take some risk off. Maybe not be too high in the leverage and take the loss, and probably save the account, save the firm. But these guys just stick to their guns. Bill Wang just stuck to his guns when it was too late. Like, they could have taken a loss. So the point here is that if this could happen to these major, dudes, same thing with us. It can happen to us. You got to be very aware of that risk management and that greed. I know it's going to come back. Yeah, you're right. But not now. You're not right in the timing.
You know who's selling right now is MSTR, Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy. They're getting rid of Bitcoin. They have to. They have to pay dividends and other the things they need money for it. And that was the never sell company, right?
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it was like something ridiculous, like over 400%. And again, when it goes right, everybody's happy. Everybody is happy when it goes right. And I'm sure he got close for lots of. See, they do this all the time, right? And we only hear about it when they get caught. But they over leverage all the time, and they make tons of money doing this. But when it doesn't work, this is what happens. This is what happens. So
you heard about all the South Korea news, right, Carlos?
Yeah.
Did you hear the statistic? 3.4% of the country got a margin call.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I can't even fathom how that number is possible. That's wild.
I saw a YouTube video and the guy was breaking down. He had good data, and he was showing how many margins calls went out, and it was just insane, the amount of numbers. And yeah, it's wild. Insane.
Amazon back again to my original entry I took. So that I understand the advice people had to hold and go for a bigger win, but I'm telling you, sometimes it's just best to take your target. You get into a trade, you have an amount you want to make, and you see that amount, put it in the bank, because it's never a guarantee.
Yeah.
Amazon was up 5% earlier. I'd be surprised if it could sustain a day like that. Still up 4.5%, but that's That would be a big follow-up day to the
Yeah.
15% that I put in on
Right.
Friday.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's coming off a big win here. So if it can sustain this and keep that, man, that's nice. That is your all-time highs, by the way, on
Yep,
Amazon.
yes, it is.
So there you go.
NVIDIA got 203 now. That was a crazy breakout. This is the kind of trade that's going to look like if you look at a 5 or a 15-minute later in the day, you're going to ask, why did you get out of NVIDIA? Like, it's so obvious. But I just couldn't survive the entry I was taking.
Yeah, that's nice. Wow, no trades for me yet, friends. I'm not seeing anything that that I could have taken. And I'm going through my list. There's nothing I could say, oh yeah, you know what, I missed that, or this is an opportunity I didn't take. Nothing looks good. Like I'm looking at everything looks the same. The initial drop and back into the range, sideways. Everything I have looks very similar to this, right? The MU, same thing. Down, back into the range, no actual breakout. SanDisk, the other hand, went up and then just back into the. It's just there's nothing that looks great. PLTR, SKHY. This is again. There's nothing here. There's definitely not a 5-minute ORB, and there's definitely no other breakout because your 5-minute ORB, it comes right back into the 5-minute range. Like you're still in this 5-minute ORB range, right? So for me, there's no play there. Apple, same thing. It's one of those days. One of those days where I am not getting my signals. The only one that actually did not stay in a 5-minute range was Amazon. Got going quickly here and it's just kind of trying to hold, but everything else for me was not clean. So if you're a 5-minute ORB trader, today is a tough day. I don't know which stock you saw that could have been a good 5-minute ORB. And that's what happens with this strategy because a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to trade the 5-minute ORB strategy." If you're a new trader, you're not going to trade a lot with this strategy. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be very selective. Apple maybe. Apple might be the one that had like a decent 5-minute range. I'm not a fan of the 1 minute of the way that 5-minute got created.
SpaceX is at high a day here. PLTR just went for a very nice move to the high day that I probably would have taken if I was looking for a trade, and it did an awful pullback.
Look at that. SpaceX showing some strength this morning. Tomorrow will be the day. We're going to have a lot of fun with SpaceX tomorrow.
So, Carlos, I got a question on the 5-minute ORB.
Yeah.
For you. So, I day trading is interesting because the terms are not like well defined. So a lot of people will say something and another person will say the same term or word, but they'll mean something completely different. My favorite example is price action. Like what does anyone mean when they say price action? Everyone's got a kind of different definition in their head. But for the 5-minute ORB, there's 3 ways I've heard people describe it. One is a trade you take on the second 5-minute candle, and that's where the trade is. So the trade essentially exists from 9:35 to 9:40 in the morning in that second 5-minute candle. And if that candle breaks the first 5-minute candle up or down, that's the ORB, right? The second way I've seen it described is it could happen on any 5-minute candle as long as it hasn't broken it yet. So if you're on the 5th 5-minute candle of the day and it still hasn't exceeded the top or bottom of the first 5-minute candle, then the 5-minute ORB is still in play because that those prices haven't broken.
That one I have not heard. Wait,
Yeah,
so let me sure I understand. So, like, if this 5-minute candle here at 10 o'clock, if it breaks this candle, it's a 5-minute ORB break. That's what you're saying?
No. Well, what I mean is if you look at the first 5-minute are those 5-minute candles? They are. So the first 5-minute candle on Apple there is pretty wild. Like it's got some big wicks, but the top's up near 312 and the bottom's down near 305.50 maybe. So some people would say the 5-minute ORB is still in play until one of those is broken. Where other people would say, no, it has to happen on the second 5-minute candle. Otherwise. And the third way.
Oh, yes. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And the third way I've heard it described is those levels are in play all day. Anytime they're breaking, no matter if they've already broken, they're still playable levels, which I disagree with. I don't think that's the way to play a 5-minute ORB. But which way are you? Are you the second 5-minute candle guy, or are you the guy who the levels are in play until they're broken?
No, I don't think levels are in play until they're broken. I think they're in play up to an hour, maybe up to an hour, and it dwindles down a lot. So, for example, like if we are, and I only trade the first, like this is my range, right? The first 5-minute RB, that's the 5-minute RB for me, right? So,
Okay, so you do the top and the body, yeah.
Yeah, you could be in here for a while. When that breaks, that is a 5-minute RB breakout up to an hour. And usually I rarely trade like a 5-minute RB at 10 o'clock. Usually that strategy is dead. It's usually very early on, first 15 minutes or so is when that strategy is there. If you want to trade anything past an hour, just use the hourly chart, right? I think that's going to be better data. So I'm using this one. It doesn't have to be on this candle number 2, but this candle has to be created, and it could be, maybe candle number 3 of the 5-minute. It could be on this one, right? But I do notice.
So you will play it as long as it hasn't broken yet. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. As long as it hasn't broken. But what I find, John, a lot like that is the way my trade book is written. But after the second candle, there's rarely a lot of opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like if the second candle's in engulfing, right, and it comes up to here, it stays within the first 5-minute range, and then the third one comes down, that's a 5-minute RV breakdown. I'm trading it at 9:15. I'm sorry, at 9:45, right? That's perfect. 5-minute RV breakdown within the range. But rarely do we see that. We usually just take the next candle is the one that usually makes the move. You have the higher volume, higher volatility, so it's a higher chance of that actually moving well. And I don't trade the wicks when it's like this, right? Like I'm not going to take a 5, because here get this a lot too. It's the break at the wicks or the body. For something like this, I'm not taking a breakdown when it comes down here, right? So that's
another important distinction, right?
Yeah,
so when people, when people, sometimes people think they're trading the same way like Carlos does, but they're not really, because they don't know the little. They don't always know every nuance, and that's why we have webinars of Bearable Traders. Like I'm giving a higher break webinar on August 18th, and I do one about once a year, and that's where you learn, like, okay, what are the
details?
Really, yeah, because it's not true. Any stock going to its high of day. Right. Like it's just not the mere fact that a stock's at its high of day that it's a trade. No. There's more to it than that. So
100%.
Make sure you know those things, I guess, is what I'm saying. If you hear Carlos say, I trade 5-minute ORBs. Well, yeah, okay. If you want to trade it like Carlos is, because you're learning and you're like, I want to do what this guy's doing. I want to try to pick up on this. Like, make sure you kind of get the deets,
Get the details. Yes. Absolutely. Amazon holding steady. Just kind of staying above the VWAP. The VWAP didn't come to the VWAP. I think the VWAP came to it, right? All the moving averages are catching up with the price. So we're here. Didn't really pull down a little bit, but then just kind of held. This level here is 283.80. We'll call it that. Has been an area where it's just kind of held here pretty nice. So let's see what it does. And what else? Anything else in play that we haven't looked at? I don't see anything else. PLTR took a dive. I know it had a nice run. Yeah. That's not good. Apple is making its way up, and SPY is still up. So doing a little bit opposite of what it normally does here. But Apple is trying to come to the VWAP. Well, you know what? Apple's the only one. Question is, why didn't I go short Apple? Apple's the only one that I probably could have traded, but I wasn't looking at it. Right, I wasn't hyper focused on it, and I think the 1 minute. I don't know if I would have taken this trade looking at the 1 minute. Like it doesn't look that. It's easy to see it now. Okay, it looks clean, but here the 1 minute, I would probably call this chop. All right, so I don't know if I would have taken this trade. I'm not sure. Now the 5-minute RB looks awesome. Like it's the only one that I probably could have taken for a good 5-minute RB. That's why I selected that one for example, because I knew it's the only one that had a good 5-minute RB breakout. on the 5 minute chart, but the one looks it looks weird to me. With the drop, this big pullback, like it just doesn't look like something I think I would have taken. But hard to tell. Hard to tell. SKHY is still within the 5 minute range too. Like if you look at it, still within that range. So no opportunity there. PLTR breaking down here. Wow, PLTR is feeling the weakness. This looks like it wants to go green again and maybe stay green because it continues to do higher highs, higher lows here. It's kind of trending higher, so like it wants to get in there and stay there. NVIDIA was not even on my list today. NVIDIA is out of nowhere is having an amazing day. I mean, just incredible. But they've been brutal. They've been so hard to trade the last couple of days. So I really have not been really putting them on my list. So they were not on my list. I think, John, you mentioned that's why I pulled them up, but I was not really having them on my list here.
Yeah, I haven't enjoyed NVIDIA too much these days. I want to see NVIDIA at, I mean, it's far away, but I'd love to see it get into new all-time highs or up around there. So like it gets more volatile and more bullish. But this place it's been for a long time, around
Yeah,
200,
yeah.
below 200, above 200. It's
Yeah,
been a
yeah.
slog, man. It's been here since April, really.
And I think we got spoiled with NVIDIA when it was just moving. I think it was last year,
Yeah,
right? Just
yeah.
kept going and going. Every time we traded, we're getting $3-4 moves fairly easy. And then I think the beginning of this year, end of last year, it just got stuck. And other stocks were a lot better, and it just got stuck. And then we had a nice little run between March and April, which a lot of stocks did. So it took the shine away from NVIDIA because if you look at this time period, like I tell everybody, look at the time period between April and a month ago, right? And that's around the same time this thing starts. Everything moved up. So it didn't give NVIDIA like its own little, hey, you're rocking. Everything was rocking. Everything was rocking. So you could have touched anything, you could have done well in the tech world. And then now we're back. Now that that's done, we're back into this choppy type play. But again, today, not the case. It is trading very, very well.
Stocks are like relationships, it's hard to tell
Yeah.
sometimes if your relationship has gone sour with a person, and should you end it? Should you put in the effort? And the stocks are the same way. They're not going to tell you overnight if they're becoming less tradable. They're gonna fade.
They're gonna fade over time. You're gonna feel.
MU's breaking out here. S&DK is not quite hit high a day, but MU broke out. It's above 800 now. SpaceX up to 111, which is the low from 2 days ago, right around here, 111.30. SPY 754 now. We're up 1% on the SPY for the day and 0.8% on the Qs. It's a bullish day so far. We do have some economic news. Oh, no, it's all done. It's all done. Never mind. It's past 10 o'clock. We had, what do we have? PMI this morning. Manufacturing PMI, ISM manufacturing, and construction spending. Let's see. PMI came in at 53.9, so that's in the expansion territory. Anything above 50. ISM manufacturing came in at 55.6, kind of well above the forecast, and that's big time in expansion category. And construction spending down 0.1%, not much of a change.
Feelings on MU. MU is on the move. On the move. SanDisk on the move. So yeah, all these companies that were down, they were down quite a bit today. They're all just bouncing back, right? If you look at MU, you look at SanDisk, they're kind of be the ones that have been taking the hit. SanDisk is going green here. So you're starting to see some of the chips, memory stocks bounce today, right? Given the sell-off from last week. So I think the big earnings are out of the way, so no more surprises on what, you know, the outlook and what the big guys can do to kind of mess things up a little bit here. So getting a little bit of a rebound, except for Apple.
There's Andrew in the chat. I thought Andrew looked happy. I went over and I peeked at the chat room. He had this like kind of smile on his face, and it's like either had a great weekend or traded well, or maybe both. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get those trades over to you, Carlos. You got the
we could look at that once you have it.
Got a bunch this morning. So we got like 6 minutes.
I know, man. It's a great day. Great day today. So you guys should have done hopefully you guys did very well. Another payout. All right, there we go. See, now everybody makes the 10 grand. But look at this guy came in, committed himself for 90 days. Sean, $674. So he basically paid for his boot camp, got an experience to trade somebody else's money, get the, because you do get some emotions. You do get the feel for it. Although it's not your money, you want to make money. So you do get that kind of emotions of the greed, the trying to make money, trying to keep the money. Oh, I had this much, I gave it back. You don't get that with simulation. It's just there's no way to do it. But when you are trading where you can actually get a payout, you do get those swings of emotions, which is nice before you go to your live account to do something like this, right? Do the trading terminal funded program. And yeah, 674. Again, it's not the big price, but you just commit yourself for 90 days and you prove that I can hold on to some money and not blow up the account, because a lot of people blow up, right? A lot of people blow up. They draw down too much.
That's a trading terminal account, so that they made more than they spent. And the nice thing about those accounts is the downside's capped. You're only going to lose what you spent on it. You can't lose more than that. But the upside is nice, and it does. But the important thing is it makes you feel like you got skin in the game, and it changes your behavior. It totally does. I'm a kick-ass sim trader, man, but when you go live, it's different and it changes everything. So
I agree 100%. All right, friends, let's take a look at some trades here. Let's see what we got going on. I'm gonna bring this up.
Just someone's pointing out SNDK high day break. It did break over the high, just like MU did. So it's catching up to MU.
SNXX is another one too that you could play if SNDK is too steep for you. 1200. SNXX has actually been traded a couple of times the week before, I think, and it's been pretty good. It does move very well. Gets good volume. Careful, it is 2 times leverage long. Just manage your risk accordingly. Don't go taking 10,000 shares because you can afford to, because it's a $9 stock, right? Don't do that. That's not smart. So funny. So when you have kids, and you know this, John, you can't say, "Oh, that's stupid" to them, But the kids do stupid things. It's what they do. So I'm always saying that's not smart. It's not that the brightest thing. Like you shouldn't do that. That's not really, using all the parts of your brain. You're smarter than that. But you never use negative stuff. It's always like that's unsmart, or that's not the wise decision. When you really want to say that is just freaking dumb, man. Like, why would you do that? Why would you put your finger in there? You're gonna get cut. Like, but
I've leaned toward that language. My kids are adults now, and I will call them.
No, now, yeah.
Like you need, you need to own it, because your decisions matter, and some of these have lifelong repercussions. And so, like, stupid is stupid is, and I will tell you when you're stupid. But you're right. When they're little,
they're little. It's like.
Crush them.
Kids, they have no filter. Like you'll crush them. I got to build up their resistance first. Then I can be like, dude, this is the dumbest thing you've done so far. We can recover from this. But they're not there yet. Amazon, my friends, from John. We saw it live here. John traded Amazon, went long here for the high day breakout, and then we all were here live watching the decision. Do we take it? Do we leave it? Do we take it? And John said, nope, I'm taking it. And good he did, because he probably would have got stopped out and break even here. And you just never know. So, and actually, you didn't lose much, John. Not lose. You didn't miss more on this one, actually. You had your target. And look, it didn't go up much higher than this. So it's pretty.
Not a ton.
Yeah, not a ton. So it didn't do an NVIDIA on you, that's for sure. That's a whole different one. Here's Tesla. Paris goes long on the pullback. Man, what a trade. Interesting trade from Tesla, from Paris. He got in and then just partial into strength. No ads. I guess because there's no pullbacks, right? There's 1 minute and there's really everything is green. I don't know what to add here, but he just said, you know what, I'm in a partial situation. No ads for Paris, as he took that beautiful long trade on Tesla. All right, here it is. Tesla, Robert M from New York. City's so nice. We named it twice. New York, New York. Here it is. Tesla, long, partial, I guess, and then partialing all the way up here on Tesla. So there it goes. Great stuff. Here's Google, AGK, long for the breakout of the R4, partialing into strength. This also moved very nice on the pullback off the moving average, added, and then partialing into strength. So pretty great job there. AGK. Oh, hold on. Go down too much. Here's Tom. Lakers colors. Microsoft. 1 minute ORB. Very clean. 1 minute ORB. So I'm seeing this on the pullback. If this pulls down, comes back up, he gets in with the strength, and look at that move higher. And does get tested on his entry here again. Was able to manage to hold, get back in the green, partial and partial up here. So good stuff. What do we have here? This is Harvey. Harvey took Amazon long here for the 1 minute ORB breakout. A lot of people took this trade. You can see the partialing here, partial. Added and then partialing towards the top there. So good stuff, Harvey, on that trade. Ken Hims. Wow, we haven't traded this ticket in a long time. Hims around $28, huh? All right, so there it is. Hims took it long and then partialing here as it pushes higher. That's a stock we have not seen in a while, so got to check what they're up to. ServiceNow was in play. Was on our list, I believe. Yes, in the secondary. Well, we have a range here. This is MJ Trades 1. We have a range he took long. I think this is a 5 minute range. It looks like a 5 minute range. That's the low, and this is your high somewhere in here. Here's a 935 candle, so it would have been, yeah, so that's your 5 minute range there. Long for the breakout. This could be, and when strategies combine with so much, high of day breakout, 5 minute ORB, bull ABCD pattern. When you have so much on there, it makes that stock even nicer because there's more conviction that it can actually work out. This one does pretty nice. Goes long here for the break of whichever one of those strategies he took. I'm going to go with the 5 minute ORB because he got this range here. Partial into strength. So really great move there. Got $1 plus on that move. That's nice. That is nice for MJ Trades. And that's it, friends. So great stuff from our moderators, our members of the community. Some really good trades today. Very nice. SNXX SanDisk continues higher. That's looking nice. And no opportunities for me yet. NVDA, great candle on the daily today, man. It's just going green and sticking to it, looking very nice. Friends, hit that thumbs up. It does help out the channel a ton, so we really appreciate it. If you hit that like button, we get to 500 likes. We have a special coin that we are going to ship out to you, right? BBT coin. So hit that thumbs up and get that coin. Limited edition for sure. It's only a few of them out. 308 likes. We're almost there. 200 more. All right.
Gotta somehow rally the never likers, you know.
It's oh man, and I just hit the like button. It happens. This is what we got to remind people, and I always wonder, like, I hate reminding people. I hate telling people what to do, but this is what you have to remind people, because even myself, after you mentioned it, John, I'm like, wait a minute, let me go make sure. And guess what? My thumb was not checked off, so I just clicked it. It's just people forget. I think what YouTube should do, if somebody's hanging out for long enough, in the channel, it should automatically populate the like button. It should be. It should.
You like it.
Yeah, you've been here for 10 minutes. You haven't switched. We're gonna automatically turn this on for you. It's like the your
Well,
car's
it
headlights,
could be an
right?
interest button. Why does it have to be like?
Yeah,
It could be interest because we all look at things on the internet that we hate, right? That's the dirty nature of
true,
it. Is you watch the
true.
things that you kind of tick you off. So like, yeah, it should
Yeah,
be like it. Am I has this generated interest button? That'd be more
yeah.
honest, right?
Let it be like let it be on, and let me decide if I want to turn it off. Like the headlights in your car automatically turn on at night. I'll decide if I want to turn them on, turn them off,
There
which
you
I'm
go.
probably not going to because I need them. So, just let that be the default, huh? What about that?
SpaceX going for high a day here. It's fighting with the low from 2 days ago is where the price is holding up. If you're curious, so we'll see if that can go
Yeah,
higher.
yep. SpaceX, great move. Was down at what is this? 104. Is that the lowest we've seen on SpaceX?
Think it is.
104.83, or have we been lower? Last time I saw it was 108. I think that is the lowest we've been.
Yeah, new all-time low
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I knew that we were gonna have some sell off, but I did not think we were gonna get down this low. I think it was gonna hold a little bit better than what it has done.
I love the company. I love it so much,
Yeah,
but I knew like that valuation. I know it's probably I don't know.
hurting it more than it
It's just
helping it, right?
it's a
Yeah,
lot. That's a lot for an IPO, man. Like,
yeah,
especially when you have a rocket that's the rocket that has to accomplish everything to make this vision happen is working better. It's not working yet.
right.
Hopefully they get an orbital flight on the next test flight, but yeah, still some big what ifs out there for sure. Can't wait until we just get Starlink and everything, Carlos. I'm so sick of having dead spots on my phone. It's 2026, and I go walk my dog in parts of my neighborhood. I just can't even make a send a text or anything.
Yeah.
Too much. Beam it from space. Tesla's losing it here. Market's rolling over a bit short of 755. I was talking to you found the plot there in the chat, and if you look on a daily, the SPY is has resistance at 755, which would be the S&P 500 having resistance around 7,500.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see days on June 15th, we got to 756.68. July 10th, 755.42. July 15th, 755.58. Those are the days. Oh, and then June 16th, 755.44. So just you know how resistance goes. You kind of
Mm-hmm.
bump into it, and if you want to break out, it's gonna be a little funky there at that level until it happens. And then of course we'll have all-time high after that to deal with. Market's looking good though, Carlos. I'm gonna have to figure out.
Yeah, it's looking very nice today.
I'm gonna have to spend some money on my house here now.
There you go.
I've started a list of giant things I can fix on my house that none of which I want to pay for, but like all of them are expensive. And I gotta figure out which one to do. New driveway, my porch probably should be redone.
Mm.
That one's not huge. My wife wants to do that. I'm not big on the porch. I feel like it can go the distance. John can patch it up.
Mm-mm-mm. Meta. Let's take a look at Meta. Wow. Everything's doing so nice. Meta. Oh, Meta had a nice good couple of 3 days actually. If you look at the last 3 days, they got some really nice moves here. So recovering. This is earnings, right? They got smacked in earnings, and the market's coming back saying maybe we're a little too rough on you. Let's ease this off a little bit. And back up we are. Here we go.
NVIDIA is really toying with this level here. It's like 255, 60, whatever this is. It just keeps knocking its head up on that, trying to go higher. 255.70 maybe. Not 255, 205.70, excuse me. I'm a terrible moderator for trading. My mouth just says prices that aren't even the right price.
It's tough to do because you're like you're trying to trade and moderate. It's difficult.
Well, you're scanning so
Difficult.
many charts too. Sometimes your
Right,
brain is
right.
on NVIDIA, but your last thing you looked at was Tesla. So like you're
Yeah.
you're thinking about NVIDIA, but you're looking at the Tesla price and you say the wrong thing.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Which normally as you're trading along, you're just quiet. It's just kind of like you're processing, not really, talking about it. So yeah, I get it. Get it. All right, we're having a good day overall in the markets, guys. Market is bouncing back. MU doing its thing, wants to go green. A lot of stocks. If you guys remember, the gappers list today was very divided, right? We had a lot of the service companies in the green, all the tech and supported stuff in the red. But the tech and supported stuff that was in the red today is making its way up here, trying to recover. MU just, dollars from going green after being down quite a bit today. So, NVIDIA having a big, big day, man. Look at that. It's having a very, very nice day so far. Started red, in the green.
Yeah, on my watch list now, my top 12, there's 3 red stocks left. Apple's down about 1%. SKHY's down 2.7%, and MU is just shy of PDC. It looks like it might try to go green today.
Yeah.
But we have greened up a bit.
Yeah, we sure have. It's nice.
How did Baba end up doing? Was there any missed opportunity?
You know what? I took it off my list. Let's see. Did I mess up by doing that? It doesn't look like I did.
I don't think so. Not for me.
Yeah,
It did break
doesn't look
higher,
like-
but in a very
yeah.
messy kind of way that I probably wouldn't have survived.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 5-minute. No, yeah, I probably wouldn't have not taken this. So didn't miss on anything there.
Quantum stocks are moving today. QBTS is up almost 10%. ONDS is up 8%. Oh, excuse me, ONDS isn't quantum, but QBTS and RGTI and QUBT are all having nice days.
All doing good this morning. How is our crazy stock? The FNS is settled down, halted 3 times today. And now it's just kind of selling down. This stock is wild. It's fun to watch though. Last week it go to like 100 and something after hours. It's just insane. Unknown news. Like there's nothing happening. Companies came out and said we haven't done anything. Just a reverse split. And you've been holding this at like $4. Hopefully you're happy and taking some money out. Like if you're sitting here, if you were just about a week ago or 2, the stock was worth $3 at this new split. That's life changing. Like you can literally make a boatload of money. So hopefully those people did realize it's just temporary and that you are not going to be sitting here, 3 weeks from now. Highly doubt it. So hopefully they're doing what's best for them. All right, MU wants to go green. Here it is. It's trying. Let's see if it can break through. After a gap up day on Friday and then sell off the whole day and then gapping down today, trying to turn things around. So, Pat, you're calling MU to 840. 840, you're getting this from the daily, I see. Okay, yeah, I see where you're getting that. Yeah, that's reasonable. If we can break through this 840, SPY continues higher. I think the bounce back is in play today. A lot of these semis. And let's look at the. Sure, a lot of people have already heard the tragedy, the shooting over in Idaho. When I first heard In-N-Out Burger, for some reason my mind automatically went to California. Um, and I was telling my wife, "Oh yeah, this happened." She actually brought it to me. "Oh, you heard about the shooting?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did. I saw it In-N-Out Burger in California." She's like, "No, it was somewhere else." And I'm like, "Oh, so maybe that's another shooting," because I didn't know they had In-N-Outs anywhere else but California. And then I realized that they do. Thought it was all Cali. Right, nothing in sight for me yet, friends. All right, MU's kind of pushing back a bit here. Struggling to get above that previous day close.
Yeah, Carlos, one of the tragic things in that shooting is the guy shot a guy charging a Tesla who was inside his car with his wife,
I
and you
saw
can't
that.
drive
Yeah.
away when you're charging. You are stuck there. And I recognize that when I don't
Really?
use
Yeah.
I don't use superchargers very much, but when you're sitting in there, you kind of know, like, if somebody weird's walking by your car, you're like, well, I ain't driving away without getting out to unplug this thing, so it
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
drawback. They should probably work on that for the future because it makes people a little vulnerable.
It should have a yeah. I'm sure that will be a thing. You should be able to, hey man, if I gotta pull off here and break off the damn charge, just pull off. It should have a mechanism because you have that in I have driven off with the gas pump in the car, and so yeah, I have done that. I have done that. I have.
Not in New Jersey, I hope, because somebody should have put it back for you.
It's so I have driven off and broke the whole thing, and it has a mechanism. I didn't know this. I'm like, oh man, fuel's gonna spill all over the place. No, it has a mechanism that way. It's meant to detach, so you don't actually damage the entire pump. So you're not dragging the whole pump out. So it detaches and it stops. It doesn't. It does. It's not like a fuel leak. So I'm like, I didn't know that. So that's pretty interesting. It should have something like that where you can say, hey man, I got to pull off, emergency button, and just take off, because yeah, you never know.
Yeah, at the moment, it would have to be something mechanical to kick the charger out of the port, and they don't have that. Like, that would have to be a retrofit to any car like mine, or it'd have to be added on the new cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon's back. You found the plot in the chat's calling it out. It's nearing the highs here, so Amazon's trying to keep it going here today. Tesla just broke to new highs, but it's pulling back. And MU's rejected that PDC, maybe that 820 level as well, but not an easy level to get through. So MU's taking a break there.
Yeah. The car fix is much easier, man. You can't fix people's brains. That's a hard fix. You can't fix that. You're never gonna be able to fix people's brains. There's gonna be some defects, and that's just what it is. It's unfortunate.
I'm all about solving the murder problem as well.
Yeah, but it's not realistic. Like you're talking about fixing somebody's brain. Like the other day, I got birds all over the place here, John, all over, and I got this little bird, poor little thing, fell off the thing, and he's big enough that he should be able to fly, but he can't fly. It's just his wings they look perfectly fine. He's just hopping around. His legs look a little bit weird, but he's very young, and I'm like, oh man, you are gonna be the raccoon's dinner tonight. You're not going to make it. So I took him, I put him up in the tree like 5 times. Keeps falling back down and found on my grass. And then he realized I was trying to help him. So he kept coming to me. I'm like, oh, I feel horrible. And I know you're not supposed to take him in, whatever. So I put him on top of my umbrella, the umbrella I have in the backyard. And the minute I put him up there, all his other friends and his mom came over. His mom is picking at him like, get your ass flying. Like he's trying to she's like being really rough with him. And she's like, pushing him like, go, go, go. You're defective, man. It's just, you can't fix that, So that's kind of what you see with people like this. You can't fix them. They're defective, And so, yeah, you're not going to fix that. That's not going to change. It's always going to be part of society, unfortunately. It's going to be some people that are just defective, That's it. So there's going to be another bird born that cannot be able to fly. And it's going to be dinner for some raccoon or some skunk, whatever out there, It's just part of the... It happens in animals, it happens in us. So it's part of the system.
Kind of funny, Carlos. I had a tree frog I tried to save this weekend. Similar circumstance.
Yeah.
Well, not exactly similar. He looked perfectly capable of surviving, but he ended up on my deck, which is really high up, and like just baking on the hot deck. So my wife and I went out and dropped some water on him and tried to put him in like a container to get him down to the grass. Kept trying to leap to his death off the deck and stuff, and it was just like, man,
Yeah.
little frog, I'm trying to help you.
Yeah. It's dark. It's dark, but you know what? It's unfortunately it's the truth. You know, people don't like it. And I know not you, Melanie, of course, you know, but it's dark, but it's the facts, man. It's just can't fix people. People are just weird. And then it's sad because we see it now and we just become so immune to it. We shouldn't be, but it's just like another shooting. Like, it's not shocking. Like before, it was very shocking. Now it's just like, you know, you tell your kids, hey, don't stay out late. Nothing good happens after 1 o'clock. Now you got to tell them, you know, when you go into the restaurant, make sure you know where the exits are. Make sure you realize anybody that's coming in and where your escape plan is at 2 in the afternoon. Yeah, it's just crazy. Like my son came home from school and they're like, "Oh, we did today? Oh, we practiced our panic. What they call it? Lockdown." I'm like, I never did this when I was young. This was not even a thing. Lockdown. That's the thing they practice. He's 6 years old. They practice lockdown. Like, you know, you can't fix defective people. So you gotta do the next best thing is protect yourself and be prepared. Oh, Chris MCU, let's not go there. Let's not go to the concealed carry thing. You're gonna get people pissed off. I love that topic, but it's just one where even if you are concealing, there was a guy that was concealing, by the way. He was shooting back at him, but the danger he put himself in, you know, because the cops are getting the call as an active shooter. So cops are coming. You're a good Samaritan. You're actually shooting back at the person. But if they see you, you're getting shot, and you had nothing to do with this. Because all the cops have is an active shooter with a gun, and you're there shooting the other way. They don't know. They have no clue who you are. You put yourself in a very tough spot. So you got to be careful with that. You know, I think about that all the time, you know, because here we do that, but I won't. I'll be very careful with that. You know, even if you're carrying, it's a risk. You're taking a big risk. Cops are trigger happy. Not trigger happy, man. It's just, think about it. You have a call if people are down, people are dead already. It's an active shooter. They pull up and they don't. You're not in uniform. You know, they don't know you're good from bad. These guys look normal. You know, we had a New York situation one time, John. It was crazy. There was a robbery happening in a store, and NYPD got called. They called 911. There was detectives nearby that showed up first. They were closer. They had their guns out. Guess what? NYPD came, had no idea, shot one of the cops. They're detectives. They're not.
Oh man.
You know, so it's just a shame. Fortunately, it survived. But it's just, you know, your adrenaline's pumping. You don't know who's who. If you're not in uniform, you gotta be careful. Gotta be very careful.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility to
Oh yeah, to step in or
carry
something
it.
like that.
You better
Yeah.
really have your head. You better read the laws. You better really understand what the hell you're doing. A lot
Mm.
of people do it very casually, and you know, for the most part, it'll probably never be a problem because they'll probably not ever use it. But I mean, safety wise, legality wise, you really should be very, very smart on the topic. I'll
Yeah.
say that.
Especially in our states, John. Especially
Well, I'm good to
our
go.
states.
Where like my state is completely constitutional carry, and it's
Yeah,
easy.
yeah.
But I only live about 15 miles from the Massachusetts border. Not even that. So my problem is if I have a gun in my car and I accidentally drive down into Massachusetts, which is very common, just you do go a certain route and it dips into the state, and suddenly I'm a felon, you know, for 20 minutes
Yeah,
while I'm
yeah.
down there. And yeah, one day I was leaving my I shouldn't even say this on YouTube, but whatever. But I was leaving my gun club and I put, you know, my house in my GPS and I went home and it took me down dipping into Massachusetts. I had like
Mm.
I had enough guns in the car to, you know, be a problem. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah.
I was
No,
like,
you
maybe
gotta be careful. I
it'd
didn't
be
even know
long.
this, and again, you just gotta research everything. I travel a lot to West Palm Beach, Florida, no problem. From here to Florida, no problem. On plane, you take it on the plane, no issue. But I didn't know this. Let's say for some reason I get diverted to New York. What
Yeah.
then? That
Yeah,
bag is
exactly.
coming out with my weapon on there. What the hell? You get doesn't matter. New York, you're going to jail. So I found out when that happens, you don't take possession of your bag, and you let them know, hey, I'm not touching it. You take possession of it, and then they'll figure out how to get it to your state legally. I did not know that. I would have just grabbed my bag off the thing. Next thing you know, I'm getting arrested on leaving the terminal. I had no idea. So little things like that you got to think about.
That's a bad place to be caught with a weapon is in an airport too. You're gonna
In New York,
that's gonna
no,
up
no.
the penalties.
Craziness. New Jersey, you're fine, but you go to New York, you're in trouble. You're in big, big trouble. You've got to know the rules, man. Everything is just gone. What a great day today, guys! If you got in early, you're definitely benefiting. Amazon didn't do much after this move up, just kind of stalled. But the big winners, memory and chip, are the big winners today. They are just rocking. So this guy must be kicking himself. What's the guy's Leo? What's the guy that lost tons of money? Because he probably would have been green right now. A lot of his holdings are up now. So it's like, the turnaround is so quick with these 10%, 50% drops that we get a day, right? Microsoft, this and that. The turnaround is so quick, This is gonna hurt him for a long time. It's gonna mind mess him for a long time, It is just insane. But yeah, I gotta look up all his holdings, but I think he's in the green, or at least not at the risk of losing it all.
Tesla's still cranking here. How much is Tesla up now? 3% on the day, which is nothing for Tesla. Tesla's routinely up 3, down 3, up 4, down 4, but still going strong today. NVIDIA's just creeping along too. SpaceX creeping up. MU has gone green. Congratulations, MU. That leaves 2 red stocks on my watch list, SKHY and Apple. And you found the plot talking about the 755 on the SPY. It's really stuck here. I think if we break the 755 and get going, we could get something more.
This guy Leopold got married over the weekend. After this, really? The wedding still happened? Oh, that is wild. To get married after this. Nobody's talking about the wedding topics at that wedding. That's not the topic of the conversation, I'll tell you that much. After losing,
a couple big movers we didn't talk about today, Carlos.
Yeah.
CoreWeave and Nebius are both up a lot. CoreWeave's up 13% today, and Nebius is up 12.5.
It's funny because these are both two that were on the gap up list. And again, it's just so many. We couldn't watch everything. It's just too much today. But look at that. Yeah, NBIS, beautiful move. This is one of the holdings he had as well. Yeah, it's just awesome. Everything bouncing back today. No need to sign a prenup. No, she should. She probably has more money than him now, so she should definitely sign a prenup. So, I know you're broke now. You're not taking my money. So more than now, you need a prenup when you got someone that's able to risk it all like that. These guys take care of themselves, man. They're fine, and he'll do it again in a couple of years. He'll be running another firm. It's what Bill Wang did. It's what they all do. In a couple of years, they'll be running another firm because they're not hurt. He still got money. He blew up the fund's money, blew up our money, your money, somebody else's money, right? Investors' money. His money, I'm sure he has it, somewhere with no problem. And that's the part that That is shameful. So now instead of a 50-foot yacht, he's got to downgrade to the 20-foot yacht, you know? All right, CRWV. Very, very nice here. Good question. How you guys recommend doing the funded account on Trading Terminal or Dash Trader Pro? John, I know you work with this a lot. I would love to hear your advice on something like this.
What's the question? I'm trying to find it in the chat here.
Yeah, the question is, would you recommend doing the funded account on TradingTerminal.com or Dash Trader Pro?
Oh man, that's a good question. Pros and cons. It's so the pro on trading terminals, you're going to save yourself some money. So that's good, obviously. But DOS is a real. It's a real application on your computer. It's a true trading platform. Trading terminals in a browser. So if you became a day trader and did this for real, you use some kind of platform that was an actual standalone application on your computer. Almost certainly. So it depends how real you want it to be in terms of what you might be trying to do in the future, I guess. And the fills will be quicker in DOS if it matters. That's another thing. So like if you're trying to get exacting fills like really close to the price you see right on the level 2 at the time, or on the level 1, you'll get that with the DOS simulator. The trading terminal will be a little bit of latency that might affect some of those quick momentum trades. But honestly, if you're going for like some slower trades, reversals and things, that's just no reason not to use the trading terminal one. It's fine.
Want to try the funded account, but I work 24-hour shifts all week though. How many days a week? I mean, I'm sure it's not a week, but yeah, if you're on 24 Monday through Friday, then yeah, it's gonna be a problem. But if you got a couple of days where you're off, usually people that work 24-hour shifts, they get 3 days, 1 week, 2 days the next week of actual days, or maybe more. If you're able to do that, I think you can be okay. But yeah, actually no, it might be tough. I'll be honest with you, that might be tough. If you only have 3 days a week, maybe. But if it's just 2 days out of the week that you can trade, it's a tough gig, man. It's a tough gig because not enough trading. And then what's going to happen is mentally, when you are watching the stocks for just those 2 days, it's going to force you to take trades that you normally wouldn't take because you want to trade. And that day might be the day where there's not opportunities for you, right? So that just creates even more frustration. That'll be very tough, man. You got to have at least 3 days consistently, 4 days consistently, but 2 every week that you can trade is not enough. And then you might not start hitting some of the minimums you have to hit for trading, right? So if you're working those 24-hour shifts, it could be rough. All right. The one thing you could do is take your lunch break at the market open. Take your lunch break at the market open if that's possible. Hour a day is all you need. John showed you here this morning. It was done a couple of minutes after the market open. Hour a day is all you need.
Yeah, you just got to structure. I feel like if you're gonna set aside like the first hour or first 90 minutes, then you really got to treat it as that's your trading day, and whatever happens in that time is what happened. Like, so if it's an hour, then when an hour's up, consider that the close for you for the day. But you don't want to get into the habit of like you're trying to trade in the first hour and you've developed a strategy for the first hour. But when you have a red day or it doesn't go your way or something, like you extend trading into the day looking for quote unquote other opportunities that have nothing to do with really like what you were trying to do in that first hour. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
if you can get the mindset that that's the period of time, and you're going to construct your trading strategy to fit that properly, then that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, Sonny, check the email address, man. I have nothing from you. I'm searching here. There's nothing from your email. You told me last week you sent me an email last week as well, and I checked that day because we sent another funded account winner too, and nothing. So do this. The last person that did this, they had to actually use another browser to email me, and it came through that immediately, right? Because I checked my email address. I don't see anything from you, Sonny. So send me another email or try to use another browser. And on the subject, don't do this. Don't use like free giveaway. Just use Bareboot Traders. Don't say winner. Don't use any of those keywords because that tends to be a problem. You don't want to get flagged. Just put Bareboot Traders. If you put Bareboot Traders in the subject, that should come right through. So send that over.
Well, there is a small chance that your account was given to someone else, so sorry about that.
No, that definitely didn't happen. Because we don't have a lot of winners. People don't like hitting the likes. They don't like the funded account. It's just they don't want a free funded account. Like, how many likes we have today? What do we have?
375?
People don't want it. People don't want it. So
come on, guys.
I got
675 watching.
Yeah.
We offered that coin
Sonny,
today. That's a unique opportunity to get that Bareboot Traders coin. I know there's 125 likes sitting there right now. Like, I know we could do this in a
yeah, absolutely,
absolutely.
No,
but yeah. All right, Eamon, how's your trading day?
it was good. I traded PLTR 2 times. First time 6-hour winner. The second time, my internet disconnected for a few seconds, so I got a late entry and I exited break even. But the trades is going well. It's
Nice.
okay though. Happens sometimes. How was your day?
Does. No trades for me, man. Kind of bummed out because I was really excited with the list this morning, and there's only one maybe 5-minute RB on Apple that I could have taken, but yeah, man, I don't know. I just couldn't find anything. Even the VWAP breakout, there was nothing that set up pretty nice. So it's a lot of running plays, a lot of ABCD patterns, 5-day breakouts. John took like 2 or 3.
Oh yeah, John, did you take a SKHY? I'm just curious.
I took Amazon and Tesla for winners and NVDA for a bit of a loss.
Oh, I see. Would SKHY around 1047 qualify for you? Just curious.
I'm gonna have to look at it. Let me see on a 1-minute chart. Bring it up. Yeah. Wait. Oh, this is hard to see. What was the high? The high was like 140. Yeah, it all kind of came in one candle. Those is the issue. So like at 1046, you get what I call a single candle punch to the high a day, backed by very, very good volume. It's the highest volume in the local area. Like going back probably an hour, it's the highest volume. It's great if you're watching it. Is how you would catch it, or how I would catch it. I have to have my eye on the chart at the time. But yeah, that's a good breakout.
Awesome. Well, guys, glad you did good.
Kyle is not going and walk this dog. Come here, Fred. You guys want to see Fred? Come here.
Where's Fred?
Show us Fred.
Show us John's risk manager.
All right.
Oh, there he is.
That's a big dog,
that's a
man.
big risk manager.
That, man? 65.
He's caught up in my foot. He wants to go pee-pee, so I got to get him
out
of here.
Yeah. Do your thing, John. Thanks for covering for Peter today, man. I appreciate it. Peter got stuck somewhere. He got stuck in a cottage. It's a nice place to be stuck in. I'm okay with that. All right, we'll leave you guys with
not the worst place. Not traffic jam.
Exactly. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll leave you guys with Eamon, and Kyle is off today. Eamon, or
no? Kyle is not joining us today. Yeah, he's off today. He's stuck in a traffic jam, unlike Peter. So
okay, he's not in a fun place. All right.
Yeah, so he's not in a fun place today, or guys, me. All right, guys, YouTube, how are you doing today? It was an interesting day, filled with opportunities. I would say we had a lot of breakout opportunities, a lot of trading opportunities. To be fair, I even was looking at the trades some of my mentees did, and honestly, most of them did good. Valerie caught a nice breakout with a nice ad, with a nice run. King Trader took a nice one. On S&P, yep. Entered around 752, out around 703 or 74. This was my trade. We'll go over it. Joe caught a nice breakout on Tesla. Jeremiah's, yeah, a bit of an early partial, unfortunate, but still a good one. So yeah, I can see a lot of traders did well today, and that only tells you one thing. I mean, today was filled with opportunities. A good open range. Look at this. I don't see anyone who was red today. Tom 4R, Samer probably over 4 hours, Harvey 4R, 3 hour for Domino. Yes, amazing day, amazing opportunities. What about you guys? Write down plus, minus, and the hours. Let's see how you guys did. Doug, are you Dog my mentee? I think you are, if I'm not wrong. I give access to the Discord server for those who I work with together or those who got one of the two courses I have on Trading Terminal. But if I'm not wrong, I think I'm working with you, Doug. If so, send me an email. PLTR and NVDA. PLTR was interesting. Oh, you're not. Okay, I see. I see. I probably confused you with another. Uh, So yeah, I mean, if you get one of the two courses that I have in Trading Terminal, or if we work together, I usually. And by the way, talking about mentorship, I have one spot available for August. So for those who are interested, you can just send me an email, and I will send you the details. And two for September. And those who are not following me yet, you can follow me on X. This is where I usually announce the openings, and I also oh yeah, oh my god, you're so quick, Doza. So yeah, I mean, this is usually where I announce my mentorship spots, and I also share my trades. Now let's get back to trading. Today I've taken a trade on PLTR, and the first one is actually a risk-free trade, a parabolic reversal trade. This is one of my favorites at the open. You build the bias based on the daily chart and based on the 60-minute chart. And I was slightly more biased based on the daily chart. If you take a look at the daily chart on PLTR, you can see that we're sitting closer to the lows. And you can see that every time we're around the low, there is a nice rejection. There is a nice bounce. And at the low, I could see that there is a hammer on Friday. So I anticipated a small momentum or a small bounce to the long side. The hourly chart, look at this beauty. We have a nice consolidation area around here. We broke above this consolidation area during the pre-market, pulled back into it, and I was looking for this on it. Market opens, huge sell-off, no pullback, and this is a trade that I usually call the risk-free trade. I wait for the candlestick to open, go far from the 9 moving average, lower, recover back into the green. And if I see that the distance between my entry and the 9 moving average fits at least 2 candlesticks, that's what I call a risk-free trade. Pull the trigger, stop loss, and started partialing all the way to the upside. And if it went against me, I would have moved my stop loss to break even. This is why I call it a risk-free trade. It's usually either a winner, either a break even if the price goes against you. And it's my favorite strategy at the open because at the open you usually get a lot of momentum. And most of the time it's going to be either winner, either loser. Midday or later during the day, I still call it a risk-free trade, but there is a chance that the candlestick is going to go to red, from red to green. You pull the trigger and it instantly goes back down to red and you lose -1 hour. So the first 5 minutes after the market open is where I love this strategy the most. But remember, we're not blindly playing it because it's stretched from the 9. You need a higher time frame confluence as well. Nathan, if you choose the funded account using Dash Trader, you will need to sign up for Trading Terminal separately. The thing about Dash funded account is that half of that cost is going to Dash Trader, and half of that cost is basically the funded account. I don't use scanners a lot. Probably the only scanner that I'm using midday is the extreme reversal scanner. It's here. There it is. This is the one. It's calling stocks that are extended on the hourly, on the 5-minute chart. Let's take a look at what we have. APA. You see, that's what it's usually doing. It's looking for a stock that is a runner, and then you try to play the pullback on it. It's also called, I think, FTNT. There it is. So it's basically this candle is trying to call stocks that are making a straight move. Now remember, a stock that's going straight to the upside is not necessarily a short. Uh, you need to wait for good confluence before you end up playing it. No, Svetlana, I'm still holding on to Microsoft. I'm long on Microsoft since 400, and I'm holding for 520 on it to sell. I'm also in Meta since 560, which is also doing well. And Netflix since 80, which is not doing well, but overall, the account is positive. I have small position on IBM since approximately 205, which is also going good, but this one is a small position. So the swing trading position is on fire. The baby is amazing. And I'm making huge progress, by the way, guys, on this software that I have around here. You see the success rate. These are, by the way, the rules that I teach my mentees, that I teach in my course, the multiple time frame analysis. My training style is based on the concept of predicting the next candlestick. And I'm trying to automate my rules for predicting the next candlestick. And then get it to trade automatically. And the success rate is actually amazing for now. Look at this one. These are the candlesticks that it's calling out, and not in hindsight, real time. And you could see how it's doing so far. Long around here, which is right. Long around here, which also worked. Long around here, which also worked. Long, long. It called the long around here, but that actually did not work out. 3 beautiful longs in a row. Then it called the long around here that did not work out. Called a couple shorts, which worked. Called the long around here that failed. A short that ended up being a break even. A short that worked. A short that failed. A short that worked. And a short that failed. But you can see how beautiful the success rate is, right? A short that worked, a short that failed, a short that worked, a short that failed, a long that failed, a long that failed, a few longs that actually ended up working out. But the success rate is amazing, right? And this is basically for the whole trading day around here. And this exact same trading system could be done. This is the 5-minute chart, but this exact same system could be done on the daily chart, could be done on the hourly chart, could be done on the weekly chart for swing trading. And it's look at the beauty of predicting the ranges, because this is the concept that I also teach in the book, in the course with my mentees, the concept of predicting a range before it happens. And you see how it's you see how I'll fix my light in front of me, and these lights are going to go away. But look at this. You see how it's predicting this whole range around here, starting from this point. It's predicting all this range around here, starting from this point, right? It's predicting this whole range here, starting from this point. And this is the thing that when I usually work with my mentees, they get annoyed when I work with them about the concept of predicting the market phases, predicting the future range, because it's work on static charts, but they don't understand the importance of it. And I'm trying here to visualize to you the importance of this thing. If you can anticipate the range before it happens, you can play fake breakouts better, you can play reversals better, you can play the range plays better. After the breakouts, you can go for trend continuations, you can go for momentum plays, etc. But yeah, so far so good. Still can work on more adjustments, and I'll probably spend a few months on it, but it's promising. It's really promising. No, I have a long position on IBM, by the way. What's wrong with Apple? The issue with Apple is that during these their earnings, they announced that these chip and memory shortages will affect their future production and future sales. And this is the thing about growth companies. The good earnings is something from the past. Who cares about whatever happened? Growth companies are more focused on the future. If company raise guidance and it tells you that the next quarter, the next few quarters, the demand is going to be huge and the company is going to be growing and the earnings are and the expectations are higher or the guidance is higher, you'll see these companies going higher. But if you see a company telling you, yes, our quarter was good, but the future is not looking promising, that is exactly what is happening. I mean, is your course on BBT? It's on trading terminal. You can use the promo ATR40 for 40% discount. I'm just going to put it in the chat right now if you are interested in it. Right now, when I trade, I do all this process manually. This is how I build my watch list, and this is how I said that PLTR is going to be long today. What I did is I tried to predict a daily candlestick, and then I executed on a smaller time frame. This software, we're trying to get it to be more automatic, to do this whole process that I'm doing in the morning, but on its own. And this is the beauty about my trading style, and this is why I'm enjoying it. I wouldn't say it's 100% systematic. There is always small room left for discretion, but most of the day of the trading style is systematic. I need to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before I pull the trigger. And when a trading style is systematic, you can develop it. You can try to automate it. Chad Clark, I'm glad you're enjoying the book. Thank you. Tazi, this is a software that's fully developed from scratch. It's not available online. John, there are a lot of factors, to be fair, over 50 different factors. And if you read my book, you'll notice that the rules for identifying the ranges and the rules for predicting the next candlestick are simple, but to code it, it takes a lot of effort. And honestly, one of my mentees did a lot of effort there. Yeah, just vibe coding. What is the name of the book? The name of the book is Complete Guide to Multiple Time Frame Analysis and Reading Price Action. It is available on Amazon. I just put the link in the chat. Where is Kyle at today? Kyle is stuck somewhere in traffic. He said that his GPS was showing 2:15, and that was like 2 hours ago. So he'll be back around 11:30, and I doubt he'll be jumping into the YouTube by 11:15. Oh, yeah, found the plot. Thank you. Thank you. After you read it, if you enjoy the book, I would highly appreciate your honest review for the book. Thank you, guys. So yeah, 2 trades. The second trade is probably going to be working out. I think it's going to make it back to the high of the day. But I don't know if I want to take third trade on the exact same ticker. If we find something else that is interesting, I might end up trading it. So let's see what we have. Apple is slowly selling off. Amazon had amazing. NVDA is amazing. Tesla is amazing. It feels like it's too late to jump into anything at the moment. Kyle is not doing Dash Trader class today. Coco, he will be home by that time. So there is a chance that he will be doing uh, the Dash class today. And I think there'll be an afternoon reversal around 10:30. Yeah, most of the momentum reversals, they usually happen between 10:30 to 11. But if it did not happen, then I would expect it to happen after 12. Ideally after an hourly reversal candlestick. Could happen sooner, but I don't see anything setting up for a reversal at the moment. NVIDIA to 210. Let's take a look at Atlas. I honestly expect a really strong week. You can see that NVIDIA has been consolidating around this area for so long, right? Almost a year. And it's holding exactly at the bottom. So if we don't get any negative weeks, if the Iran and US peace talks are going to be positive, I'm not going to be surprised seeing NVIDIA reaching 220 this week. 210 today, maybe. What's the average true range on it? The average true range on NVIDIA is $8, so it's already past its ATR. Let's take a look at the relative volume. Where is the R-vol indicator? The relative volume is around 102, so it's not that high. It's a bit of a stretch. It's a stretch seeing it going to 210, but it's possible. It's not that far. What do you mean, Pat? You think it's exhausted? You think it's going to start pulling back? Frank, yes. Like I was saying, if we don't get any negative news, I would expect the price to actually reach the 220 this week. Yeah, I'm also long biased on MU. I'm not short biased on it. MU has an ATR of 70 to $80. For today, it's stretched though. It can continue going higher, but I'd be more long biased on it tomorrow, not today. Tomorrow would be a good one to watch. Eamon, do you include wicks on the 5-minute RB or just the body? I don't play RB in a classic definition of an opinion range breakout. I don't wait for the opinion range breakout. I anticipate the opinion range breakout when I trade them. This is why wicks, bodies, it doesn't really matter. I usually play my breakout before the breakout happens. But if you're looking for a right definition, a correct definition, then the wicks are included. You're looking for an opinion range breakout, and the range includes the wicks. So if you want to play a classic opinion range breakout, then you need to clear the wicks, not only the body. You have a resistance around 221. 221 on NVDA? I don't see it. Probably you dug it out somewhere on the hourly chart. But to be fair, levels need to be recent and easy to spot. For example, if you're looking for a level on the hourly chart, you probably want to look for the last 10 to 12 days. That's it. If there are no levels within the last 10 or 12 days, you look for the rest of the levels on the daily chart. If I have to take a look at NVDA, I would say that there is a good level approximately around 210. Not the strongest one at 211. Maybe a B level around here, and obviously the extreme. To the downside, you could go for this one, but it really did not respect it. It's already past it. And then something around here, and obviously something around here, and the extreme bottom. These are the recent levels on the hourly chart, nothing else. And they held nicely. I'm looking at it this way. Now any level that was not identified recently, and look at these levels that were identified within the last 10 days, you can see how meaningful they were even in the past, which shows how relevant they are. Now, anything older than that, you probably want to mark it on the daily chart. We'll have 218, and then 227, and then the extreme wick. That's basically it for NVDA. Remember that manual levels that we draw, like the ones that I've drawn around here, they need to be confirmed with volume. Let's take a look at NBIS. NBIS looks like a decent reversal. I agree with you. Beautiful fake break above the high of the day just by a penny. The entry is a bit late. Probably wanted to pull in the trigger somewhere down here or play it with a limit entry up there. But 207.50-ish looks realistic for now at least. Maybe 208. This is not bad. I like the call out. Did you end up playing it, Janus? Tazi, no, I'm not in any position. I played PLTR. One was a winner, one was a break even, and for now, no other trades. I mean, if I am to follow my rules, I should not take any more trades because after winner, I take one more trade. If that trade is a loser and break even is considered a loser, I just call it a day. If my latest trade in PLTR would have been a winner, I would have considered taking more trades. Anyway, let's keep an eye on NBIS. We had a nice call out on this thing. Atlas is neutral on this thing, not bad. What's your thoughts on earnings? I'm actually excited for the earnings this week. We have Caterpillar reporting this week. We'll have AMD reporting this week. We'll have PLTR reporting today. McDonald's, I think Disney reporting this week as well. We have a lot of good earnings, and that would keep the market volatile. And who doesn't love volatility when we day trade? Jones, the fake breakout. Fake breakout would have confirmed it for me. Remember when I was talking about this engine around here? What we see on NBIS around here is the exact same signal that we see around here. So you see where it calls the short around here? That was basically the ideal entry. Not at the breakout, you want to enter earlier. At least that gives you a chance to exit the break even if the trade, for example, doesn't work out. And that's exactly what's happening around here. You have this small fake breakout, and I spot it around here because visually I can tell that it is meeting my rules. So you short it closer to the high, and then if it breaks and goes in your favor, all is good. And if it goes against you, at least you have a chance to exit break even. This is why when I see a stock that is really strong and that made a really big move, I try to get into a reversal play, anticipating the move to happen, which offers me a good risk to reward ratio. And worst case scenario, a break even trade. The thing with entering after the breakout happens, somewhere around here, for example, is that the win rate chance stays the same as it was up here, but the loss rate chance, I wouldn't say it's increasing. The R on the losers, the average R on your losing trades is going to increase with the late entry. Now, this doesn't mean that it failed. It could just simply make lower high and continue selling off. But with an entry up here, you would have been on the safe side. Jones, you are welcome. How do you think AMD's earnings will go? If it's not about me thinking, it's about the data that is already available in public. Let me just do a quick research on that. Just let me just check. So I can see that Wall Street expects around 4.11, around $11 billion in revenue. And that's about $155 in adjusted EPS. And AMD itself guided $11.2 billion. So basically, the expectations around here are the same. Yeah, I mean, Wall Street, AMD are expecting the same value. And I think that AMD will probably beat the headline numbers, but the stock reaction, again, will depend entirely on the guidance. Why do I expect to beat? Their data center grew up more than 50% in the last quarter. I don't know the exact value, but I've read a while ago that it was around 50. Maybe now it's around 55%, more or less. And the company also guided about 46% year over year. So it's already kind of doing really good. And the demand from the cloud companies is also doing really well. The only reason AMD could drop after earnings is the forward guidance. That's all. And companies, they move around 8 to 10% after earnings, either 8 to 10% volatility to the upside or 8 to 10% to the downside. I know, I think it will literally just depend on the guidance. So we'll just have to wait. They will probably beat the expectations. That's no doubt. Any chip company right now, if it doesn't beat expectations, you just shame on it. And AMD, NVDA, Google, MU, SanDisk, there is no way that these companies are not going to beat expectations. It's like PLTR. Will PLTR beat their expectations? I would say 99% yes. But if you were here during the pre-market, I already mentioned that PLTR is overpriced. It's trading at 61 times sales. What does that mean? Investors paid $60 for each dollar that PLTR makes. Can you just digest this number? How good their earnings need to be for it to actually do really good. I wouldn't say that in one quarter they need to make 60 times their sales, but they need to tell you that our next quarter guidance, the one after that, and all the future ones are going to be doing really well because of whatever reasons they're going to be mentioning. If that's the case, investors will stay in PLTR, you'll see them jumping in and you'll see it going higher. But if they tell you that the next quarter is going to be approximately the same as it is right now, or they're going to slow it down, then it's going to have a rough time. I'm really pushing NVDA higher will be too much. This thing has around 200,000 shares traded per minute on average. Imagine how much buying power you actually need to move this thing to go higher. Sayed, I'm going to be staying in IBM for a really long term. I think I'm going to be going for 50% profit on IBM. What does Amazon look like for longer term? Wait, Amazon is so bullish. Amazon Atlas is just screaming long. But remember, what you see around here, guys, is not necessarily day trading indicator. This could be a longer term. It could be a target that's going to be hit today, and it could also be a target that's going to be hit maybe tomorrow, next week, the week after that. You see how many orders we have on Amazon, and they're going all the way up to 310. Or all the way up to 300. So having a big order at $300 doesn't necessarily mean that Amazon is going to reach 300 today. In fact, it's not going to reach 300 today. Just no way that's going to reach $300 today. So don't be always fooled by what you see on Atlas. It needs to be a combination of one, technical analysis, two, Atlas supporting your technical analysis, three, it needs to be a realistic target based on its average true range. Obviously, the average true range is not the most accurate indicator. It could be the stocks could sometimes hit bigger value than the average true range, sometimes less value than the average true range. So you need to combine it with the relative volume. A higher relative volume could indicate that the stock could make a move bigger than the average true range. A lower relative volume could indicate that the stock could make a move smaller than the average true range. But it doesn't mean that the stock is going to go from 270 all the way to 300 on an ATR of $8. Just unlikely. Svetlana around 205, maybe a bit later than 205. Fabricio, I don't specifically hunt for swing trades. They just appear to be right. I watch the Mag 7 companies that are well known: Microsoft, Amazon, NVDA, Apple, Tesla, Google. And if I see that these companies are dropping around 40 or 50%, I just blindly buy them and I forget about them. It's more of longer term trading, but it's not exactly investing for a longer term. These are the positions that I sell at 30, 40, or 50% profit. It's not exactly investing, but it's some sort of an investing type of trading. Possible reversal on CRWV? Not yet. I would say not yet. I would prefer to wait for the hourly candlestick to close on CRWV for playing a reversal on it. Do you have any questions you want to ask us? Tazi, are you asking me? Yeah, maybe there are. Do you have any questions you expect me to ask? Guys, there is something that I have been thinking about during the weekend. I mean, over the last few months, we've had almost everything you would normally expect to hard stocks. You see tariffs are back. You see the issues in the Middle East. You get interest rates which are high. Inflation that did not disappear and it's still slowly increasing. And yeah, it's not exactly ideal. And you are getting companies that are spending money more than they are earning on AI. And if we go 1 year back or 2 years back, that would probably get us to go into a bear market. But today, look at what's happening. We're approaching all-time highs. If this thing keeps, yeah, if it keeps like this, we might see all-time highs today or tomorrow. And that's a little bit too weird, I think. I mean, it feels like the market right now just trades the future, not today's headlines. It feels like investors believe that the future earnings are going to be good. They believe that future guidance is going to be good, and I mean, logically, it's right, right? If the future is promising, invest in it. But it feels like we're running ahead of ourselves. It's not done in a steady way. No logical, no numbers supporting anything at the moment. But what do you guys think? What would actually take it to break the market? What should happen for the market to sell off? Recession? Spike in inflation? I mean, I doubt that inflation is going to do anything. We've had bigger risks on inflation and the market did not react to it. Or do you think there is still a lot of room for the market to go higher? Zombie apocalypse? I doubt zombie apocalypse is going to hurt the market. You'll get zombies investing in S&P 500. Yeah, I think raising the rates probably could do that. Growth companies hate rates increasing. So if we get rates hike 2 times, that would probably hurt the market. Yeah, Pat, we've heard talks about recessions happening over and over and over, and yet it never happened, and the market is going higher. I agree with you. Hmm. You're saying, what do you think people would say is the best stock of the year? That's a good question. I like it. I think if I had to guess, maybe most people would say NVDA. But if we're talking about performance, Amazon made a good case lately. Microsoft also completely changed the narrative with the AI results. Bloom Energy outperformed a lot of companies because of the AI infrastructure. And you asked me about one, and I named four, right? NVIDIA, Amazon, Microsoft, and BE. Let me try to see. Maybe NVIDIA or Amazon. You see, guys, you're talking about MU and SNDK. I agree with you. Maybe MU and SNDK, but these ones are literally overpriced. Hmm. Maybe you're right. What do you guys think? I mean, if we are talking specifically about 2026, then maybe yes. MU and SanDisk were one of the biggest winners. MU was rated the best. I mean, probably MU and SanDisk, yeah, I agree with you. Hey man, you have 10 years of trading experience. If you could go back 5 years, what would you tell yourself? And go back 10 years, what would you tell yourself? Um, if I go back 10 years, I would tell myself focus on one strategy and master it. I think I spent half a year jumping around from one strategy to another, thinking that all I needed to do is find the strategy that I enjoy, and I was practicing every single strategy for 1 week, not finding a strategy and not finding success and jumping into another strategy. But to be fair, 6 months is not that much because I know traders who've been jumping around for years from one strategy to another. And to be fair, I'm not one of the advocates to recommend one single trading strategy. When I work with my mentees, I teach them 3 to 4 strategies, and I always say that one strategy is not enough. But it's just my personal opinion. Don't take my word for it. I believe that the more strategies you have, the more trading opportunities you have. Uh, Sometimes the market is good for breakouts, sometimes it's good for reversals, sometimes it's good for a range play strategy. But when you are just starting to trade, you do not want to focus on multiple strategies. You might want to focus on one single strategy. It doesn't matter whether it's profitable or not, just work on it until you master it. You don't need to find consistency with it, just find when it works the best, when it fails, and find the clues around it. If I go back 5 years, though, I tell myself just trust your rules more than your emotions. Because most of my mistakes 5 years ago, they did not come because I was bad at analyzing the stock. I was already at a level where I could read price action really well. Most of my mistakes they came in from breaking my own plan. To be honest, looking back, consistency was not about finding the best setup out there in the market. It was about the discipline, sticking to the system that I knew is working and is generating money. Uh, I always say that day trading is not difficult. You need two things. You need a system that works, and I have that. I know which system works, and it is actually generating money, and it's supported by my stats, and it's supported by almost over 100, actually, over 100 of my mentees stats. Over 100 of my mentees made it to consistency, and I have the stats proving that. I have the results. The second thing that you need after the system, and this is the difficult part here, discipline, sticking to the system. You could have a system that's working, but you might be struggling following this system. And that is the most difficult part, in my opinion. Accepting that today is not your day, that you need to move on, that you need to stop watching the market, or that you need to hold on longer to your winner, or sometimes you need to exit at break even, or sometimes you need to add into your win position. Sometimes you need to hold on to your trade to compensate 2 or 3 days of losers, and sometimes you need to just take a small profit and leave away. So there are specific rules, and when you are in a trade, you're not asking yourself logical questions. What are my rules telling me to do in this situation? A lot of times your emotion, they overcome your judgment and you're uh starting to mess up simply because you're emotional at the moment. Oh, Melanie, I like that song. What strategy would you recommend for a beginner? It's not the easiest strategy. It's probably one that you're going to struggle to find consistency with, but I recommend trying to focus on the ABCD pattern. The ABCD pattern is going to teach you how the market works in general. It will, if you focus on the ABCD pattern and everything around the ABCD pattern, in the future you are going to be good at trading breakouts, you are going to be good at trading reversals, you are going to be good at trading continuations. Uh, it's going to help you with a lot of different trading styles. I mean, I think it's a strategy it's repeatable, first of all. That's the best thing about it. It teaches you patience, risk management. It teaches you reading price action because you're not jumping at the most volatile time of the day. And once you can execute it consistently, you could build other strategies around the ABCD pattern. Svetlana, it depends on the trade that I'm taking. If I'm playing a reversal or a breakout and I hit the 4 hour, I would exit 75 or 80%. If I jump into a trade late or I know that I messed up, then I could lock in 10, 20%, maybe 30% around 2 to 1 just to turn it into a risk free. There is no specific rule about what percentage I usually partial. I know that Andrew takes 10% partials. I think Kyle is taking 10% partials. Maybe Paris is also taking 10% partials. But for me, it's situational. It's not a fixed rule. No, I don't do meditation. Just, I mean, I did it for some time. I'm planning to do it consistently. I'm not the best at it. I know it's healthy. PLTR is still holding around the lows. Do you guys think this thing is headed back to the high of the day? It feels like it wants to. It feels like it wants to go back to the high of the day. Atlas on it is neutral though. Thank you, Yusuf. So NBIS did not end up reversing. I think it needs a bit more time before it sets up. Mid-Serie order your book as well as Andrew's book. Both are on my doorstep. Start with Andrew's book, How to Day Trade for a Living, because it covers more about the foundations of day trading. Once you are done with Andrew's book, you could check my book. And I would appreciate your review once you're done reading it. To be honest, every single review helps. And we're sitting at 82, by the way, guys. So thank you for everyone who put a review. It feels so close to 100. Let's see how long it takes us to get there. You guys are amazing. 82. Yeah, it's so close to 100. Just doesn't feel that far. Dragon, I don't take a lot of trades. Usually I take around 2 trades a day, 1 to 2 trades, sometimes at max 3 trades. And at the open, I watch 3 to 6 stocks at the same time. But most of the time, it's 3 stocks. It's so rare to have 6 perfect stocks setting up at the exact same time. Well, it's interesting. Sometimes we hit these 500 likes within the first hour, and sometimes it takes us until the very last minute. But I get it. Sometimes it just feels weird. If it's difficult, if it's so difficult to get someone to hit a like button on YouTube video, how difficult would it be to convince someone to put a review on Amazon? Kyle, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And you guys, we're coming to the end of the hour right now. Like I was saying, I have one mentorship spot available for August. If you are interested, send me an email to ayman@bearbletraders.com. If you get any questions, send me also an email. I'll be more than happy to respond to you. Take it slow, trade smart. NBI is, by the way, still looking interesting for a reversal, especially that now we had a more obvious fake break above the high. In 1 minute, it's probably going to close as a doji, and if that happens, we might finally see that pullback or reversal on it. Anyway, guys, thank you. Pleasure talking to you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. See you guys.